Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the HR Office Live here on twitch.tv/Greg Gamer Twitch. And if you're watching this on youtube.com/hardestreset. As always, I am your host, Greg, and I am joined here today by Mira. Say hello.
Bum.
And we got a peanut gallery. May's not on the podcast tonight, but we got the peanut gallery back here. May, give us some witty words of encouragement. This is like the best for people.
I don't got any. This isn't witty, but I found out the Vita version of Dramatical Murder actually has Mizuki as a rat. I looked it up, but it's only in Japanese.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm very disappointed.
Ladies and gentlemen, breaking fucking news. Alright.
I might actually
Alright, well, I guess it's solo cast now.
pre-ordering right now.
Let's fucking go, my dudes. No, maybe. Did you break the chair?
No, but it made a noise.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say.
I was like, oh god.
That was a noise that I'm scared to find out what that was.
These chairs scare the fuck out of me.
They do. I mean,
They're
the table's
so
fucking
fragile.
The table's fucking nice, but yeah, I get scared with these chairs.
The chairs are so fragile. I'm just like, one of these days we're gonna be sitting in the chairs and they're gonna break. True,
yeah. But yeah, May's not here tonight. She's
not feeling great.
Yeah, I mean it happens. She's tired. She's, it happens. Sometimes you don't feel like it, and you want to not phone it in, and that's why. You want to bone it on in there, and just slide it all the way in, and all the way out. Oh, this is gonna be a fun podcast.
Are we sure this isn't the Undertale podcast?
What do you mean? Oh.
Boning it in.
This is a podcast I do not want to be on anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, I quit. You guys have fun. No.
Alright, well, I guess.
But anyway, so we're going to talk about a bunch of things. We're talking ProJared situation, why James Charles is a cunt, the NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs stuff going on. Further on in the Adventure Zone, I've beaten Heaven's Ward, and I've gotten to May's favorite part of the game. Talk about the incredible return of Which Would You RP, personal life stuff, upcoming events, and a chat on spoiler culture. And according to Robit, everything is pain.
Romano says, I feel her life as a toddler boy mom. Yeah?
Yeah? Toddlers
are crazy energetic.
That is very true.
They're crafty little shits when they want to be, too.
That's why I don't want kids.
Jenna.
That's why I don't want to have kids. I really don't. Because then if we had a... No, I can't.
Let's move on.
I was about to say, I can't make a joke that's a really bad joke. Let's talk about the ProJared situation.
Speaking of things that are a bad joke.
Speaking of things that are a bad joke, seeing ProJared's dick was something I never wanted to see. But seeing the Photoshop of his face on the head of his dick was one of the funniest fucking things that we ever saw. It's still seeing his dick, but his head, his penis head was literally his face.
Censored in a way?
Yeah. Who needs kids when you have a sweatshop in your basement? Ooh. Anyway. So, yeah, there's been a lot of controversy that has happened over the last week or so.
And then there was an update recently.
Oh my god, I need to bring up that fucking update. So
it's on Twitter.
And I'm going to Twitter right now. So
we are live tweeting the podcast.
We are live tweeting on the podcast.
Just
doing a bunch of other shit.
Type ProJared in the search.
Oh,
Twitter.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll find it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So
when the computer
when Twitter decides it wants to allow me to search shit, that'd be fucking great. We're a professional podcast, I promise you guys.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Try now.
ProJared.
Go to his profile.
Yeah, let's say it should be on his profile. I'm gonna laugh at
unless he deleted it. Nope, there it is.
Oh my fucking god. Oh man.
It's a trip.
This whole story in YouTube shit is a fucking trip. So this all started last Thursday when there was a statement that ProJared put out on Twitter that he and his wife were filing for divorce. And he kept it really
And part of what sparked this whole controversy is the fact that he blocked his wife from his Twitter. So
So he puts out a tweet on May 8th. I'm just making sure. Yeah, May 8th that says a statement, and it says, "I know this may come as a surprise and upsetting for many of you, but I know that we need to do this." Oh wait, hold on. Oh, there's the more to it. Yeah, my wife Heidi and I filed for divorce. I know this may come as a surprise and upsetting for many of you, but know that we do this so that we may both seek happiness and for ourselves. During that time, you may see a lot of rumors, speculations, and gossip going around. That's interesting that is being said. I ask that you make your own observations and come to your own conclusions. I will add that this decision was reached after extensive individual therapy on my part and couples therapy together. That's real. I forgot that was a detail in this story. With that said, this is all I plan on stating publicly regarding this matter. Heidi's privacy, mental well-being, and discretion has always been and will remain my highest priority through all of this. It is my hope that we both exit this marriage with style and grace. Oh, I love that line. I plan on continuing to do everything I can on my part to make this happen. I thank you for your understanding, patience, kindness, and respect for our privacy. Then Heidi blew the fucking lid off of everything and basically said that ProJared was cheating on her with Holly, who is
Commander
Holly, who is Ross's ex-wife.
Ross is from Game Grumps.
Yeah, Ross from Game Grumps, also known as Rubber Ninja, popular animator, etc.
Or if you look at the Mario Maker episodes, it's
the
Rubber Ross,
or the fucking asshole that made those horrible Mario Maker levels. Yeah, totally. No, I guess they had filed for divorce last year, mysteriously, and that actually ties into some of the accusations that comes out. But basically, he was saying that ProJared was cheating on her with Holly. And all this crazy shit, and then was opening up about how he was soliciting nudes from underage women, or just soliciting nudes in general, and to underage on Tumblr, which a couple people spoke out against ProJared, who said that they were like 15, 16. I think they were both 16, if I remember correctly. Basically under the age,
minors.
Minors. And that they had solicited, he had solicited nudes from them. One of them said, "Don't post this anywhere," and he posted them anyway. And then like this whole we're like a day late and a dollar short talking about the main bit of the controversy, and there's nothing that we could say that hasn't already been said by people aside from, ProJared is fucking disgusting for what he has done.
Well, I think like the only reason we're late on it now is just because like there's been an update.
The main reason I'm talking about it now is there's been an update. So all these people were coming against ProJared. He lost over 200,000 subscribers, rightfully so. Apparently, he's still losing subscribers. And I'm actually curious to see the social blade after he put out that statement. The statement he put out yesterday. But the original talk of the ProJared situation was going to be talking about the situation and kind of giving our opinions of what we think about everything.
Let me see if I can pull up the social blade.
You can bring up the social blade right now. While you do that, I'll go ahead and get on to what the big update is on this one. So we originally were just going to talk about it, kind of, be like, yeah, this is kind of shitty. And it's kind of been weird for me because, like, I enjoyed ProJared's videos, but I was never, like, a hardcore fan of his. But then, like, to see this all come out, it's like, oh, that's bad. There's a lot of memeing on Peanut Butter Gamer as well, because he quickly came to Jared's defense when JonTron was going through his controversy, immediately threw him under the bus, telling Ethan from H3 that, oh, John's not my friend. But immediately goes to defend ProJared, saying, that ain't it, Chief. When
which that's become a meme now.
That in and of itself there's been a lot of spicy memes that have come from this, which is sad in the sense of, like, when you look at the whole context of everything about the situation, especially because, like, if it was just the cheating thing, he would have been a meme, he would have lost some subscribers, but then would have gained it back. It would have been not fine because cheating is disgusting and horrible, but he would have just been a scumbag. He wouldn't have been basically a pedophile like he's been outed to be now, and soliciting nudes from young people, even the people that were like just 18, Like, that's still, like, the power behind that. It's just that could be a whole podcast on its own. But, yeah, it's like, it's one thing to have all the cheating stuff come out, but then all of the soliciting of nudes and the Sin Jared Tumblr pages and the secret Tumblr pages and the detail that makes my stomach go nuts is how he called everyone his sinners. And it was like, oh, that's disgusting. That's really fucking bad. But the conversation has now changed because yesterday he posted a statement.
Well, okay, 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
As a recording.
Oh, yeah, that was 2 days
As
ago.
a recording, yeah.
As a recording, this was 2 days ago. But anyway, so he put out an additional statement, and I'm going to read that as you. How's the Social Blade looking? It's not coming up.
It's confusing. It's my first time going on here.
I can check the Social Blade later. That's just fine. But anyway, so this whole thing, you know, I mean, I don't think I have to ask anyone what they think of the situation. I think we've all talked extensively, personally, about how disgusting this whole situation is.
It's showing me his Twitch subscribers.
Huh, that's weird.
Right now he went from, like, a couple weeks ago, he went from having over 200,000 now down to 180,000.
That's on Twitch, right?
Yep.
Let me see your phone real quick. I'm gonna try to check the.
Maybe this is on Twitter. No, this is on Twitter.
Oh, it's his Twitter followers. Oh, that.
Because YouTube, it's not showing anything.
That's weird. Oh, they don't want people to know.
I guess not.
Yeah.
On Twitch, he has 110,000.
I'm going.
It's funny because for the YouTube thing, it says 12 subscribers, but I know that's definitely not right.
That's funny. All right, we're going.
It'd be great if it was, though.
Going to the ProJared. He's at a B- on here now. Oh yeah. So he's down. He's below 800,000 now. He
went from a little over 1 million.
Yeah, he was at 1,033,000.
In the last 30 days, he's lost 234,648.
He's almost lost 250,000, which makes sense.
He's lost a good chunk.
He has. He definitely has, and it's rightfully so, I would say, because it's you're already a scumbag for cheating on your wife.
Especially when you see, like, the comparisons between the two women.
She's gorgeous. She's an incredible cosplayer, and she's just gorgeous. And then, you know,
I don't know anything about the girl he cheated on with.
All I will say is, it's a crime to cheat regardless. But you just look at, like, you look at her, like, and I'm not, because there's been a lot of, like, poking fun at the way Holly looks. Like, a lot of people on the internet are saying, you know, look at, why would you cheat on a 10 with a 4? You know, stuff like that. And, like, I'm not going to make any comparisons or statements, but I don't know. It's like I said, I don't want to, I don't want to judge Holly for how she looks. I don't want to judge ProJared for how he looks. I don't even want to have my sympathy for Heidi B.
I'm just gonna judge her for the fact that she willingly cheated on a dude that was married.
That's the thing that you can judge her for, is for her actions. I'm not going to judge her for what she looks like. I'm going to judge her for her actions.
That already makes her
those actions are disgusting. And in fact, before I get into the statement, I actually find it really interesting that the way that Ross has handled the situation. He had took to Twitter. Which is funny. He went to here's a connection. He went to Ren Faire the same weekend we went to Ren Faire, which that was pretty funny. But he canceled like a couple streams he was supposed to do that week with what's been going on, and
Grumps removed
all the ProJared videos. You want to know how bad the effects hit? Nate Wants to Battle has stopped doing streams for a little bit because that's kind of within because he's friends with Game Grumps. And I guess he's kind of, for whatever reason, from what I saw on Twitter, I guess people are starting to give him shit for some reason. Here's the thing, I have no idea why. I don't know if it's just because they assume because
they-
he's associated with the Grumps that he has to have an opinion, and he's like,
Well,
it's
'cause
not my
he's-
situation. I don't know.
He's also worked with Gerard too, and they probably think by extent
Oh yeah, see, because he, like I said,
because
it's
they've
kind
done
of within
videos
his.
together.
It's kind of been within his because he's worked with Game Grumps. He's worked with at least Gerard.
Yeah, because he's done a few videos with him. They worked on a music video together.
Yeah,
with,
so people have been
with
harassing.
Random Encounters. They've
yeah.
done. They did a FNAF video together.
Yeah, I think Romano explained it perfectly. It's one of those things of why would you cheat on your beautiful wife? That's a perfect way to say it. I cannot say it any better myself. But yeah, like apparently Nate had to stop. Of all things, one of his charity streams he had to stop early because I guess he was getting harassed about it. And it was distracting from the point of the stream, which is a charity or something. The details are really fuzzy. I'm looking more into it because he's really vague about it because he hasn't been talking about it. But from what I can glean, like
Probably trying to keep himself busy, honestly.
well, the thing is that like it doesn't involve him. He wasn't a part of Normal Boots. He's worked with some people from Normal Boots. He's worked with some of the Grumps, but he is way far removed from the situation, really.
And I also think part of it is just because the internet has seen, like, Gerard respond. They've seen,
Yeah.
like, other people respond. They're like, well, you know him. What's your idea on it? And it's like,
the
I
other-
don't have to give you my opinion on it.
On the subject of the response to that, fuck Peanut Butter Gamer, by the way. He's a fucking asshole.
I only knew the dude from one video.
It's sad because I fucking loved him. He has great content that May and I still quote. But seeing that response from him, I went, "Wow, you were so quick to throw John under the bus when you did, but to immediately come to the defense of ProJared, when I'm not diminishing what John Tron went through in 2017, the whole political stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, that was shit he said.
It was shit that he said that John really had a self-reflective.
He didn't cheat on his wife.
He didn't cheat on his wife or girlfriend or whatever. Yeah, the thing is that John said some really shitty things in the political sphere and tried to be political and just said some really fucked up things, which he was very self-reflective in his apology and really was like, I'm sticking to comedy. I can't be freeform. I stick to scripted content for a reason.
I fucked up.
Yeah, he basically said, I fucked up. And that was the way he handled it. And I would argue John is better than ever now. Like, you see where he's at now. The people that work with him, it's just like he's pumping out, like, incredible content. It doesn't forgive what he said in 2017. But the fact that he was self-reflective and he hasn't had any issues since then, like, it makes sense.
And we've all said problematic shit.
We all have. Like, I know if we were to ever get any sort of popularity at all, that they can go back to my Twitter and find some bad shit. But I don't believe in revisionist history. I don't believe in going back and deleting things for people not to see. Because I believe in growth. I believe in people growing from the problematic shit that they have said and done in the past. And we've all done shitty things. Some people, the things are shittier than others, but we've all done shitty things. We've all said shitty things, and, that's the whole John situation. But PBG was quick to throw him under the bus and be like, he's not my friend. But then, like, the whole ProJared thing fires off, and, like the nudes were already getting leaked. I think the only thing JonTron said was, like, because JonTron did not say a fucking word about it, except for, I think his tweet was, like, I literally sat here for like several minutes thinking of what to post, and all I could say is I should have been to bed 7 hours ago. Like, that's all he has said, and it's actually through that thread that I saw one
Who
of the
can
news.
relate?
Woo! Yeah, no, but it was really shitty. And then Peanut Butter Gamer has this thing. It's like I was quick to defend a friend, and it looks like that there was manipulation. There could have been this, or could have been that. And yet...
He's still stuck with the whole thing of, like, this should have been a private matter.
Yeah.
I should never have gone on the internet. And it's like, okay, my thing is, you're not involved.
Yeah.
And it's between the two people involved in whatever scenario is going on. If one of them decides they want to disclose the information, that is completely up to them.
Yeah.
You have no say in this should have been a private matter.
Yeah,
You're an observer. Doesn't matter what you are.
It's one of those things where... Because... On one end, you can look at how Heidi just kind of put him on blast
Well, I
and
mean,
but the thing, like, and trust me, I'm not defending the people that are saying this, but there were people that have been saying, it's like, yo, Heidi didn't have to put him on blast. She could have just moved on. To which the common thing was, no.
Like, well, first of all, he blocked her.
Yeah, I'd say.
So it's not like she could even respond.
I think it's no holds barred when you make a statement and block your ex-wife on Twitter to keep her from seeing what you're saying.
And the divorce wasn't even finalized yet.
Yeah.
And he blocked her.
Yeah, the divorce wasn't even finalized, and
it's like, dude, no, she has every right.
She puts
to be
him
angry.
on blast, to which I probably would have saw that and be like, oh, that sucks. And then the thing with the nudes and the soliciting nudes from young women and underage women happened, and that's when I went from he's a scumbag to, oh, this is disgusting. He's I don't want to call him a garbage human being because that gives him more credit. But if you didn't think he was a piece of fucking garbage before, he posted a statement a couple days ago.
An apology.
It's spoiler alert. It's not a fucking apology. So let me read you what his statement was. I am deeply... that is the first one. I am deeply sorry for anyone who has seen the accusations, vitriol, or unwanted photos that my former partner Heidi and others have been posting online since last Wednesday, May 8th, 2019. The truth is that Heidi and my marriage have been in a bad place for some time. I never wanted any of those details to become public. Well, I mean, no shit. When you're soliciting nudes from underage women, you kind of don't want that to go public.
When you send people dick pics, you obviously don't want that.
You don't want that shit, you know? Both Heidi and my to become public for both Heidi and my mental well-being. But they have, and the accusations being made now must be addressed. A few years ago, Heidi asked me if we could be in an open polyamorous marriage. I recognize now that this request and my willingness to go along with it was an unhealthy attempt to solve deeper issues that had developed within our marriage. Heidi has taken several casual partners and has been in more serious relationships with another partner since 2017, whether done to make her own actions feel justified or because she genuinely believed it would help me build self-esteem. Heidi suggested that I also engage with other women. Heidi encouraged me to tell Holly that I was developing feelings for her, but when I did, things changed with Heidi. She became angry and vindictive and did not want me to see or speak with Holly anymore. She called me a cheater and claimed that I was destroying our marriage because of my affair, even though she continued to have other relationships with other partners. I never wanted to destroy our marriage, and I spent months after that doing what I could to repair it, through couples therapy and extensive individual therapy. Those close to me have witnessed Heidi's behavior towards me on many occasions and have begged me to leave for some time. I was many things during this time, including embarrassed, scared, and broken, but I was never the abuser. I made several attempts to leave, starting in October 2018, but each time she refused to let this happen, threatening to destroy my career and harm others if I left. Despite all this, I tried anything amicably. I helped Heidi find a new place to live and paid the initial deposits. I bought her a car to facilitate her independence. I formally filed for divorce on May 13th, 2019. So you made this statement before you even filed for divorce. He's saying he filed for divorce on May 13th.
When the initial response came out on the 8th.
On the 8th. Yeah, oh my god, I'm getting even angrier at this shit.
Thing is, the initial statement he made, he says, Heidi and I have filed for divorce.
He's saying that they filed for divorce when they hadn't even filed for fucking divorce yet. Ooh, I'm getting peeved. I'm getting angry. He filed for divorce on May 13, 2019, and have instructed my attorneys to make sure she receives a fair share of what I earned while we were together. I genuinely never wanted any of this to happen, but I finally realized that I had no other choice. Even though I have been tempted to put information out online that shows my side of the story, I don't want to further stoke the fires.
Oh, we lost internet.
Oh, god damn it. We lost internet. That's okay. We'll go ahead and
we'll just keep going.
Yeah, no, we'll keep going. Actually, go ahead and... Here, I'm going to turn the router off and turn it back on, and I'll let you go ahead and finish. So I'd say, even though I was tempted to put out information. Go ahead and start from there.
Even though I've been tempted to put information out online that shows my side of the story, I don't want to further stoke the fires of what should have been a private matter between us. My hope is that both of us continue to pursue therapy and come out of this unfortunate situation better people. but I want everyone to know that any other interactions I may have had with other women were known to and encouraged by Heidi and were had only with the purest and lawful intentions.
Purest and lawful intentions, Jesus Christ.
I am so sorry to everyone that I have disappointed. I realize that as a public figure... Oh, hello.
Sorry.
Still reading.
Sorry. I realize as a public figure.
I realize as a public figure I am held to a higher standard. I have made my fair share of mistakes, but I have only ever tried to do what's best for Heidi and me.
Okay.
Where to begin?
Let's
go back to the beginning at least.
I'm gonna go back to you because I know you skipped like a couple of these paragraphs when you were reading it to me.
I think initially whenever I saw it, this was the only part of it that
this part was those close to me have witnessed. Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
first of all,
let's go.
It takes you an entire week to craft up this story.
Yeah.
An entire week.
One fucking week.
You didn't have to break down into every detail, but the fact that you waited that long means you're putting a story together. And given the fact that you didn't put any sort of proof that shows that you're innocent whenever she's putting out proof that you're guilty...
She and the people accusing
she was like,
her
I have the text.
Messages. In fact, one of the accusers of Jared had the screen caps of the email sent to Normal Boots.
Yeah.
Yeah. And internet should be back right now. We'll go ahead and see if our stream has been disconnected and attempting to reconnect. Sorry for people watching this on YouTube who are seeing this like whole bit. So anyway, so go ahead. So please continue.
But then on top of that, it's like you're going to blame, you're going to throw the whole polyamorous term for your defense.
Yeah.
You're throwing poly relationships under the bus to justify what you did.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that from what it sounds like, Heidi did not agree to be in a
Heidi was saying
a poly relationship.
Heidi was saying on Twitter after this statement came out that to give further clarification that it was floated at one point to try having a polyamorous marriage, but when they tried it she did not like it at all and vehemently told him, I can't do this. Yeah. So
it's like, okay, so one of your partners has said that they can't do it.
Yeah.
Then you have two choices.
By the way, we're back, by the way, so go ahead.
You have two choices with this. You either end that relationship right there, if you can't take it, or you just... I don't know. It's weird, because if you're not into that sort of relationship, you need to get out of there.
Yeah.
There's no amount of conversation that's going to work with that.
Yeah.
Like... If anybody can handle that kind of relationship, good for them. I know I can't. I get attached to people. I am too emotionally involved. So if I were in a situation where someone suggested to have a poly relationship, I couldn't do it. I'd have to
I can't either.
And that's not to say that poly people are, like... That's not to say that that's a bad thing, because some people realize
I'm not going to say it's a bad thing,
work for them.
But me being a monogamous person, I can't wrap my head around that.
I just emotionally can't.
Yeah, I emotionally can't wrap my head around polyamory. Yeah,
but
I mean,
it
doesn't mean that people who are in poly relationships are bad people. If they're all consenting adults and they all understand the kind of relationship that they're in and they're all okay with it, that's cool. It's just
the way he's making this sound is that he's basically just like, oh, I cheated on my wife, but it's okay because it was her idea to be in a poly relationship. Was it also, even though she said, okay, I can't do it.
Was it also the 16-year-old's idea to post her nudes without telling her, even though you told her not to?
Yeah, it's like, okay, they told you not to do it. You did it anyway.
Yeah,
But sure, it's my wife's fault.
It's my wife's fault. Don't you fucking know? Yeah. Rolana was just going, ugh.
What a way to throw someone under the bus. Just because she tried to offer a solution to make it work. She tried to make the marriage work, and then she found out she couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
So she told him. What does he do? Continue to do the thing that she said she couldn't do.
Yeah.
Garbage.
It's one of those things where, in one aspect, this is such a personal thing. Like, this is really personal stuff. You know, But at the same time...
This just comes across as cowardly.
Well, the thing is that, like, at the same time... Like, he's sitting here saying this, like, debate... Like, the part that gets me the most is this part right here. What was it? Even though I've been tempted to put information out online that shows my side of the story, I don't want to further stoke the fires of what should be a private matter between us. And that literally, to me, screams, I have no evidence, and this is me justifying that I have no evidence.
Oh, I'm going to be the bigger
I'm going to be the bigger, better person, which I'm sorry to say this.
Not.
I'm sorry to say this. What does it abusers do? They try to come off as the bigger, better person. Sorry, not sorry for that comparison.
And I mean, granted, it's one thing if you don't want to drag all of that dirty laundry out on the internet. But at the same time, when she explicitly says, I have evidence saved.
And she's slowly putting stuff out.
And when other people have managed to find the nudes that you leaked out, you're done.
You're done. You're out.
There is no amount of, oh, I'm sorry, or, oh, I'm the bigger man in this situation that's going to save you.
Yeah.
You're done.
You know, looking at this whole situation, and I'm gonna briefly just touch on the James Charles situation now, because I know nothing about YouTube beauty gurus at all, aside from
neither do I.
Well, aside from the fact that Jeffree Star's one of them, and that's already a big problem. But
that's another issue.
By the way, sorry, not sorry. I fucking hate Jeffree Star. He is disgusting. And once upon a time, I used to be a big fan of him. And that was at a very problematic time in my life.
You also used to hate Shane Dawson, though. And
I used to hate Shane Dawson, and now I fucking love Shane Dawson. And
I used to like PewDiePie, and I fell out of that crowd super fast.
But I have to do not pass go, do not collect $200, basically. No, we'll get to the James Charles things in a little bit. But like, I'm looking just like on the broad spectrum of everything, and it's like it's just so gross. The ProJared situation. Well, I'm not going to diminish the James Charles allegations, because that is some very problematic shit that we'll get into as well. That preying on straight guys, trying to turn them gay. That's disgusting in and of itself. But
and with the excuse that he used for it.
Oh yeah, but like I just look at this whole situation.
It's gross.
The whole ProJared situation the James Charles situation makes me angry, but not sick to my stomach. Like, it makes me outraged, but not want to vomit. This whole ProJared situation makes me angry, and I want to vomit, and I feel uncomfortable hearing about it. And it's, I don't know, it's
gross.
It's gross what he did and what he has done, and it's gross the way that he's trying to portray it. Like, he's trying to show himself to be this bigger, better person, and he's not.
It's like, if the relationship is failing, or if you've tried to save it and it's just not going to work, leave. Don't go around cheating.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just... It's really disgusting. It's really bad.
Also, goddammit, women, you too. If you know the dude is married, do not fucking
that's another part of this story that I want to...
Like, no gender is excluded from this.
I'm going to say this. ProJared is disgusting for what he's done, but fuck Holly for what... I mean, ProJared did, obviously. But, I mean, someone had to. I'm sorry. I told you I wasn't going to make any comments about how people look. Really? Right in front of my soda. No, yeah, no. Fuck ProJared and fuck Holly for willingly being with Jared. Oh, and I loved her response to the announcement. It was like, hey, I'm here for you if you need anything.
She also made her Twitter private.
She made her Twitter private.
That was the funniest thing out of that whole situation.
I just like what... I didn't even actually get to fully say what Ross did. So Ross basically unplugged from social media for a while. Mm-hmm. And before he left, he's like, I know there's things going on related to me. I had moved on from my life after Holly for a long time. I'm in a better place now. So instead of talking about that, let me shout out some cool animations and awesome animators. So he did like this Twitter thread of like all these cool, basically give him like short summaries and links to all of these animators and creators, because which is, as an animator himself, like, that's fucking awesome. And that he just kind of was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna spread some love, because there's some fucked up shit going on right now, which I love that, and good on him.
He's not wrong.
He is not wrong. But since we already mentioned it, let's just jump into this James Charles shit really quick. I'm not familiar with
I wasn't
beauty.
either until this whole situation.
I'm not familiar with beauty YouTube at all.
Nope.
I already went on my slight rant about Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star, very problematic. A very problematic person who has said some very and done some very problematic things.
But haven't we all?
We all have. We all have. But I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, that alone should not be like, oh, he's a horrible person because he's done problematic
no,
things.
He's a horrible person for still defending problematic people.
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, no,
He's not a shit person because he was problematic in the past. He's problematic because of, like, his actions today.
His actions now.
Still carrying over.
It's...
The fact that he hasn't, like, learned, I guess, from it.
And he's in his fucking 30s. Like, you would think, as you grow, that you would learn from your shit. But
some people take longer.
Honestly, like, I don't know, whatever.
I mean, look at PewDiePie.
Yeah, I mean...
He's doing better now.
I have to give PewDiePie credit. He's done a really good job at cultivating his image and, like, saving his image. And then the fact that he...
I think part of it is because he moved away from gameplay.
He did, yeah. The commentary shit he does now allows him to be more freeform and stuff like that. And he's...
Articulate better.
He's been able to really... Yeah, he's been able to articulate better. In fact, his video about the subscribe to PewDiePie fiasco, it was honestly heartbreaking hearing him talk about that, because talking about the guy who shot up the mosque in New Zealand who's put in his manifesto, subscribe to PewDiePie.
Need we remember our Cheeto in chief?
Yeah. But, yeah, like, the shooter from that, the one who shot up that mosque, in his manifesto was a subscribe to PewDiePie, and that was, like, a final straw for him. He had to make a video about it, and I'm just like, that sucks. But it's like, I can give PewDiePie credit, but it's like, I feel like Jeffree Star just fails to remember the lessons he needs to learn. And the reason why Jeffree Star is important in the James Charles situation is James Charles was really buddy-buddy with Jeffree Star once upon a time.
And also someone named Tati.
Here's, as someone completely removed from beauty YouTube, I watched Tati's video and I was confused. I had to watch it twice.
Did you actually watch the video?
I watched the 40-minute video. I had to watch it 2 times because half that shit did not make any sense.
Okay, I haven't watched it.
I'm just going to give you a long and short of it. It's basically what all you've been hearing. I'd say Philip DeFranco's video from Monday explaining the situation is all you really need, because not anything
Rambling.
against... Well, no, the thing with the Tati video, there's a lot of descriptions of things and mentions of people that if you're not familiar with beauty YouTube at all, you're fucking lost. That was my issue. So I had to, like, figure out who was who and who was what, and just kind of figure out what the fuck, kind of to further understand it. But, like, DeFranco...
The Always Sunny board.
Basically, that's what I looked like. But, the big things that were coming out was... The big problematic thing with James Charles was the accusations and the men coming out against him, saying that he's been trying to, he's been preying after straight men, and he's trying to turn straight men gay when they are clearly telling him, no, I'm straight.
And because he used his celebrity status.
And basically used his celebrity status as a kind of a power trip.
He's like, who gives a fuck? I'm a celebrity.
Yeah, it's like it's very, very scummy and bad. That was, like, the biggest problem. Like, there are other things, like there's a thing that there was a part of, like, apparently he did an ad for something that was against what she's been working on or some shit like that. And it's like, I literally have no... It was
like a rival brand or something.
I literally have no fucking idea what any of that meant. I had to look all that up. Like I said, I'm not diminishing it. It's just, I'm not a part of beauty YouTube.
From what I remember from the DeFranco video, I think it was like a company that she was against.
It was a rival company, and
he went with that company.
He kept saying that he wasn't going to go with them, and kind of ended up.
And he got sponsored by them and shit.
Got sponsored by them and took the sponsorship and stuff like that. Which that's a dirty move. It's a dirty move,
but it's not the worst
It's
thing.
Not surprising. Yeah, it's like when that's the opening of the video,
it's not a condemning thing.
It's not trying to turn straight men gay and, like, force straight men into gay situations. Like, that's That's where the disgusting stuff happens. So he's been saying that, or apparently he's been doing that. There's a lot of people who have been, there's quite a few men that have come out saying like they have like DMs from James Charles and like situations that have been described. And then I guess James Charles tried to do like an 8-minute apology video about the 40-minute video. And like the ProJared thing, because
he just like keeps losing subscribers, I think.
James Charles is going back up again.
Oh, great.
I don't know why. I do not know why. But he's started leveling out a little bit. I think, yeah,
I think it might just be the Logan Paul effect.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Kind of, yeah. It's one of those things where...
Because, I mean, I think he's getting subscribers back now, right?
He's starting to.
Logan Paul?
Logan Paul's been on the up again. Yeah, he had,
that scandal he had was probably one of the worst things that could have ever happened to him, and he's getting subscribers back.
Yeah, and James Charles is like starting to go back on the up again. Like here, let me bring up his social blade. So
I think like the ProJared thing, I think he's still losing.
He's still losing. ProJared's been the only one for the last week and a half still losing subscribers. Steadily going down. Yeah. So let me just go to James Charles. He's...
Hi, sisters. Okay.
Yeah, see, he started going back up again. So within the last 4 days, he started going back up. Yeah, he's only lost... Because at one point, he had lost over 3 million.
Real quick, see what Logan Paul's follower count is.
Logan Paul, like I said, I know Logan Paul's on the up and up.
I just want to... I'm just curious now that we've...
Since we mentioned Logan Paul, yeah.
Since he's in here now. The official Logan Paul.
I don't know which one.
I don't know either.
He had one day that he lost 661. But yeah, he's still on.
Man, if only he had lost 5 more.
I know, right? Yeah, he's still on the up and up. So, and this is the official one. Is that his actual? No, the
There's
Logan
a Jake Paul.
Yeah. So he, like I said, he bounced back.
I think it's basically the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But yeah, ProJared's the only one that's still consistently losing people. But yeah, it's
gross.
I don't know. The whole kind of like beauty part of it was really confusing, but the whole idea of him trying to groom straight men to becoming gay for his pleasure, like that was the big kind of universal deal.
And then if they fought back and said, you know, I'm not gay, I'm straight or whatever, he just like belittled them and was just like, no,
he would
you
belittle
are.
them. Yeah, he would
Don't
belittle
fucking
them.
lie.
He would belittle them to the point
and get angry.
Basically, belittle them and bash on them to the point where they felt obligated to do something because of the power trip he was on. But yeah,
it's gross.
Yeah, those are some really, really gross situations.
And the sad part is anyone that's not on YouTube all the time, they're going to see that and be like, see, all YouTubers are like this.
Yeah.
This is just a problematic site. And it's like, no.
Well, that's
every, like, one Logan Paul, there's, like, probably 50 other creators out here that are super wholesome just, like, scandal-free.
Well, you want to talk about that. For every Logan Paul, you have a Gerard Khalil, who he is literally... one of the most genuine fucking teddy bears. And I've met the fucking dude. I met him at a round 1, and he was drinking Guinness and having a good night. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to bother you. He's like, no, come on in. Let's take a picture, man. Like, let's hang out. Let's chat. Like, I'm so glad I got to run into you guys. You know, he was literally, like, the sweetest fucking dude. And he does a bunch of charity stuff. In fact, his response to the whole thing was he was donating to 3 different charities that were, like, charities related. One of them being
the Trevor Project.
Yeah, which is... crazy. Like that is awesome. It's not even his issue. Like the only connection he has is because he's on normal boots. That's the only connection he has. But yeah, it's like for every Logan Paul you have a completionist, or you know, you look at where Gingramps is at now, and it's like you look at, you know, you have your Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. You have for every Logan Paul you have your Critical Roles. Look at all the shit that look at all the good shit that they do. You know, and you know, and then you talk about like good content creators as well. Look at all the shit Rooster Teeth's been doing for Pride Month. Like they have literally
have merch.
They have the merch. They did a video with all of their LGBTQ plus staff members about like their stories and kind of everything that they've been through. It's, you know, all that shit, and it's like
they're bringing awareness.
Yeah, they're basically like, yeah, the shit's, we're all diverse, dude.
Which honestly, if you're an ally, that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, it's like, it's cool, and it's like,
support your people.
But it's sad because the ones that get the attention are the Logan Pauls and the James Charles. One of my favorite things, before we end this and go on to some not as bad controversy stuff.
Yeah, because we still got a bunch of shit.
We still got some topics. It's all good. Is when the shit about ProJared was coming out, the Twitter trending thing said alleged YouTuber ProJared accused of cheating on his wife.
The thing that made me kind of just realize how big this situation was, though, was just like, it's shit when people like Mother's Basement is openly bashing you.
Mother's Basement, yeah.
Because he doesn't hold back.
No, yeah, he definitely...
And if he sees you're scum, he's calling you out.
Yeah.
Although when I saw that tweet, that made me laugh.
That was savage, yeah. That was a fucking crazy-ass tweet. Yeah, Romano says society thrives on negative issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that they like.
Negativity is the thing that draws people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't, no.
But it is.
But yeah, so we've had a running thing over these last few podcasts because I'm a hockey fan and I'm an NHL fan. Because the Stanley Cup Playoffs are going on right now.
Speaking of moving on to positive things.
Because, the positives at the end of the story, because...
Yeah, but I mean, compared to this...
this shit with the San Jose Sharks is nothing. Like, there's no rape allegations and stuff against anyone on any of the teams.
There's no, someone's beating their spouse.
Yeah. No, it's just
cheating.
Well, there's cheating, but it's not like relationship cheating.
Go, please.
And it's basically, it's an officiating issue. So...
It's a sports cheat, not a marriage cheat.
The San Jose Sharks have basically gotten a free pass through the whole fucking playoffs. Two
of them.
I found out there was a third one.
Oh my god.
Game 7 of the Colorado series, because I only watched a couple games of the Colorado series. They took away what would have been Colorado's game-tying goal in the third period because of maybe a millimeter of a person maybe being offsides. And San Jose ended up winning that game 3-2.
San Jose, I swear, if you take Game 7 from the Blues, I will find you.
Well...
And I will tape all of your sticks together, and I will put glue on the bottom of your skates.
You're going to pull a Marc-Andre Fleury.
Here's the thing. I don't want to hurt any of them. I just want to ruin their shit.
Ruin their shit, yeah. No.
Because that's something, it's just like, a cheater should never be able to win.
Well, the thing is that it's not...
Fuck you.
The Sharks aren't cheating. The things okay, they're not rigging the games. That's what I'm trying to say. For all intents and purposes, the Sharks have been playing good hockey. But there have been blatant calls that the refs have just blown with the Sharks.
Well, I mean, they're also not fighting the call.
Are you going to fight a call? I mean,
if I earned it unfairly, I would have been I shouldn't have gotten that.
We'll get into first series against Vegas. The hit Cody Eakin got on Joe Pavelski, which pushed him back, and he ran into another player, which caused him to roll over and fall on his head and have a head injury. They gave Cody Eakin the 5-minute major, which means he has to stay in the box for 5 minutes, which allowed them to get 4 goals in 5 minutes, and eventually the game went into overtime because Vegas tied it, and then San Jose basically won that game and got to move on. Cody Eakin should have only gotten 2 minutes. And here, hold on. I want to say something real quick. To all of our nerdy fans right now, we're going to be talking some hockey jargon right now. I am sorry.
To all our nerdy fans, I'm sorry.
We're going to be getting to some
nerdy... Hang in there.
The next topic after NHL controversies is Ren Faire. So we're going to be going from non-nerdy to super nerdy at the fucking speed of light, dude. It's going to be great. Just trust me.
Just hang in there.
Or just since I've been watching, I just want to kind of talk about it a little bit. Then on what I just said, Game 7 against Colorado, they took away Colorado's game-winning goal because the coach for the Sharks tried to basically challenged the play, saying that it was offsides, and the NHL ruled that it was offsides, and they basically won that game. So game 3 of the Blues.
Hold on tight.
Yeah, hold on tight. So game 3 of the San Jose Sharks versus the St. Louis Blues. The game was tied, ended up going into overtime. The Blues got angry at the game-winning goal, and justifiably so, because there is a rule in the NHL handbook about what's called hand passes. So in hockey, the only time you're able to touch the puck is if you're catching it and putting it down. You're not allowed to
basically hit it.
You're not allowed to do like a basketball pass with the puck. You're not allowed to touch it.
Or a volleyball hit.
It's just like in soccer where you're not allowed to touch the ball with your hands unless you're throwing it in or you're the goalie. Like, that's basically it. Mm-hmm. So, the San Jose Sharks won Game 3 on a play that was a hand pass to Erik Karlsson. They won Game 3 with a that was on a hand pass.
No redirection,
yeah. So
that puck should have been dead.
Timo Meier passed the puck over with his hand as he was falling, or he was on his knees and he passed the puck with his hand over to Erik Karlsson, who popped it into the net, and they ended up winning the game.
That puck should have been dead.
The Blues immediately rushed to the refs. They're like, I literally saw someone like mouthing like they fucking hand passed it. It's like they're shouting.
The crowd is pissed.
The crowd is booing. The crowd was throwing trash onto the ice. Like, they were throwing it at the refs.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where the crowd's booing because they're showing the play on this billboards and the crowd's clearly going, that's a fucking hand pass. And it's one of those things where...
And the ruling came back. The refs
said...
didn't see it.
Because the refs didn't see the play, which someone has a direct photo of the ref staring right at Timo Meier and doing the hand pass, and someone says, yeah, how can they not be like watching this? How could they have not seen this? And basically the NHL said that it was a non-reviewable play. It was a good goal, and that's it. Game over. And there were shots like I think Tarasenko was all pissed. Their goalie Jordan Bennington threw his fucking stick at the glass.
Well, they were smacking it too.
Yeah, they were pissed.
Angry.
Bennington was pissed. Yeah, the green blindfolds. Yeah. He was pissed, and rightfully so. And it was one of those things where there are some Sharks fans who are like, well, you guys didn't get the delay of game penalty. There were calls that they didn't call against you. It was a fair goal. To which everyone's saying, okay, blown calls for penalties happen. That's the state of hockey. But the thing is that
the puck should have died the second
when he touched it with his hands. It should have been plays dead. It doesn't matter. But they allowed that through. And it was one of those things where it opened up this whole dialogue of...
and those refs got kicked out.
All of those refs are not allowed to officiate for the rest of the playoffs. So they're out.
Karma's a bitch.
Well, Karma's even more of a bitch. So St. Louis took game 4 at home. They won 2-1, which you were so fucking stressed during that game.
I was like, this better not go in overtime.
And then
I can't take it.
Fast forward to today, which I think was the final retribution. The St. Louis Blues blow out San Jose in San Jose 5-0. Erik Karlsson, the one who scored that goal, he's injured now. Joe Pavelski's injured again. Timo Meier, the guy, Mr. Hand Pass, as I like to call him now, he was in the penalty box and allowed for one of the 5 goals to be scored. The San Jose's penalty box looked like their bench. Well, they and then Haley, which is I think one of their defensemen, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. He's on a line that I'm not familiar with. So Haley and Evander Kane, they got kicked from the game. You want to know why Evander Kane got kicked from the game? He went after Binnington. He was pissed in the middle of play, and he tried to trip Binnington. Or either trip Binnington or, like, get him in the legs or something. He basically... The ice smells like shark's blood.
Baby shark.
Oh, that's fucking great. Yeah.
I came up with an idea. I want to bounce off you.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Kill the sharks.
Dude. That was great. That was great.
That video was so
it was
fun.
one of the things.
Or maybe you can tell me this if this is already a thing.
Oh boy.
Also, shout out to Nolan Richardson.
Shout out to Nolan Richardson. But
That's quite a name.
Yeah, right. It's funny that we have a new person jumping in on the one non-nerdy topic that we have right now.
That's fine.
Which is fucking funny. But yeah, so the Sharks got demolished today, and I'm really happy. And they're going. St. Louis can end it on Tuesday, and they're going to be in St. Louis.
Please.
So
Come
there's
on, boys.
that. So anyway,
come on, boys, you got this.
Yeah, come on, boys, you got this. So no more sports talk, no more jock talk. Let's get nerdy as shit, and let's talk about jock talk. If I ever do a sports podcast, it's gonna be called Jock Talk. That's what it's gonna be.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, there it is. That's what it's called. It's called Car IM, and if you register with your state and license plate, then you can send and receive text messages based off your car.
I don't have a car, so
that would be an interesting system.
So you can tell someone they're a dick driver or have a car problem.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine the angry text that would be coming in?
All I would be sending out is, you're a cunt. You're a cunt. Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. You're a cunt. That'd be great. And then when your car's broken down, it's like, my car's fucking broken down. Holy shit, it's broken down. That's actually a great fucking idea. I love that idea. That's good.
I've always imagined like having kind of like an intercom system on the top of your car, and if someone has like an issue with their car, like a taillight's out or something, you would be allowed to be like, "Hey, car in front of me, your taillight is out. Pull over."
But some cunts need to know that they are cunts. That they are a cunt. Absolutely. Basically. I am with you 1,000%.
Also, I'd love it if they like mask your number so that way they don't know who is sending
Yeah,
that
they don't know. Fucking turn signal. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh my god, that is...
It is not a decoration. It is not an optional thing.
That is so true. Yeah, California driving.
Missouri's not that.
I'm about to say
either.
it's just a driving
Illinois
thing
in particular.
General. It's just a driving thing in general, but yeah, that's fucking great.
People in Illinois, especially you cab drivers.
Yeah, it's
fucking
anonymous,
use your
but
turn
you get
signal.
all the message to your license plate. Oh, wow. That is... Can you imagine? So, like, new message comes through on your license plate.
Can you imagine a kid getting a hold of it, though?
Oh, my God. Can you imagine,
you just get this text message?
I'm just imagining the capabilities of hackers hacking into this system just to put dumb messages on the fucking license plates.
We already have hackers hacking into smart cars.
True. That's very true.
No ideas.
That is very true. God, can you imagine the next Tesla
I can
run?
imagine the abuse of power, though.
Right, can you imagine the next run of Teslas that have that kind of capability?
Oh my god.
The future is incredible, let's be real.
The future freaks me out.
The future scares the shit out of me, but it also kind of is cool. But anyway,
the future scares the living shit out of me.
That's pretty good. Anyway, so we're going into nerd talk now. We're back into nerd shit. We went to Ren Faire last weekend. I always love going to Ren Faire. This is going to be more centered on you because you have never gone... Well, you've never... Until last weekend, you've never gone to Ren Faire. You know, not even ones where you lived before you moved out here. But you went to Ren Faire.
I had planned on it, but
you planned, but you never went. But you got to go. Mm-hmm. We all dressed up. We did some original character stuff, which was pretty cool. I did kind of just a roguish thing. I didn't do a full,
I'm just going to have to... Shout out to Romana for letting me borrow her cloak, but that thing was so heavy.
That cloak, I felt that cloak, and that cloak was heavy as shit. And I was like, damn.
My shoulders were
crying.
crying.
That's wild, yeah.
Like, I took it off to go to the bathroom, and when I had it off, and I was, rotating my shoulders, I was
just like, oh.
They're crying in relief.
Your thing on your status about Ren Faire was no cloaks.
And then Kari commented, no capes.
No capes. No capes at all.
Yeah.
So you had never gone before. What did you think of Ren Faire, and what was your favorite parts about it?
It's well made. Yeah.
It feels quality.
Well made.
It feels like quality.
It's just so heavy on my shoulders.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
So what did you think, and what were your favorite parts of Ren Faire?
It took me a really long time to realize that these people are they're speaking in character, so the guy that was trying to poke fun at me for looking like a Jedi and shit, it took me a while to actually get used to, because I was just sitting there no, I'm really not. Yeah,
there's a lot of
what kingdom?
There's a lot of in character stuff that everyone doesn't run, because the thing with Ren Faire is all the people that work it have to stay in character.
I know.
So That's why we had to talk to Chrissy in a certain way.
That's part of what threw me off with the whole Jedi thing, because I'm sitting there like, it's Ren Faire, you're not supposed to know what a Jedi is.
Some of the people were more consistent than
Link,
others.
though, I can understand in a way, because he looks like he fits that time period.
That was pretty
also,
funny.
Elf.
True, yeah. No,
Elf
not an elf.
No, but elf ears.
I know they use elf ears, but I'm saying he's not an elf. He's Hylian. You gotta get that right.
He's basically an elf.
It's basically Zelda universe's version of an elf.
It's like a subclass of elf.
Basically, yeah. You have drows, and you have Hylians. So I don't know why I went drow for whatever reason.
I was gonna say.
I have no fucking idea why I went drow.
You have drow, you have half-elves,
you have... I could have said you have...
elves.
Yeah. You have wood elves. You have elf elves.
Elf elves!
You had Santa's elves. You have Will
what
Ferrell
kingdom?
from Elf.
No, we're not talking about what kingdom? We don't have a kingdom, do we?
Well, May came from the Loser Kingdom. It's the
That's
Kingdom
true.
of Lost. I tried to bullshit something to someone about the Kingdom of Lost, which
the
is an
Kingdom
ironic
of
way.
Legend of Zelda.
The Kingdom of Legend of Zelda. Yeah, we're from the Loser Kingdom. We're from the Kingdom of Hard, because Hard is reset. We're from the Kingdom of HR. You're like, oh no, that is not a kingdom I wish to come abort.
Hyrule.
That's good. Got him. But anyway, so what?
Shout out to our neighbors.
I like to give a shout out to our fucking neighbors. Oh boy, I'm so glad that is being live streamed on Twitch right now.
They probably can't hear it, but we can. And that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Hyrule.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. You get it.
See, it's the dank weed.
You get it.
Yeah, there you go. Alrighty.
They knew where I went.
They knew exactly where you went.
Oh, someone else is in here.
Yeah, it's fucking shout out to
Happy 91.
Happy 91.
If I'm reading that.
Dab on the neighbors. Which direction are you going? Oh no! We did an X formation in the dab because I thought you were dabbing
we brought
this
it to
direction.
the center.
Oh yeah, we did. We brought the haters to the center, and you're kicking them the fuck out. There you go. The fucking couples goals right there. I fucking love you, babe. Alrighty. So anyway, Ren Faire. So you said it took some getting used to. However,
after that, it was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Ooh, the chat's going deep on them dabs. Hell yeah. There you go.
It was crowded in some spots, and I wasn't totally expecting it.
Yeah, you weren't expecting it to be that big.
Hardest reset fusion.
Yeah, right. It's our fusion dance where we just, instead of doing a fusion dance, we just dab together and we touch hands.
Fun fact, I still know how to do that.
I think we all still know how to do the fusion dance. Let's be real for a moment.
True.
Yeah, let's say that was ingrained into our memories as children. And when I'm not playing with my fucking coaster. Anyway, so what were some of your favorite parts about Ren Faire?
Ironically, the Welsh cakes.
The Welsh cakes were so good.
They're so good.
Those cinnamon Welsh cakes were fucking great. You got to have some food. You had a delicious ass crepe.
It was really hard to cut into. Though.
Yeah, that was your only
Made me
complaint.
so
It was
sad.
hard to cut. Yeah.
Because I'm trying, and it's plastic utensils. They ain't cutting shit.
Yes. Did you eat a turkey leg? I didn't do the turkey leg this year. I did the turkey leg last year.
Well, there's another.
Well, this year I did the meat bread, the meat cheese and bread, or the sausage cheese and bread is what I did.
I was
this year.
gonna say there's another Ren Faire.
There is another one. Yeah, you get the giant turkey leg.
We can just totally go to that one.
I was gonna do it, but then Brad mentioned the sausage cheese and bread, and I was like, oh, that sounds really fucking good.
And then he got steak on a steak.
You got steak on a steak. That was really good. What is it? Oh yeah, Sui and May got the gyros. Is that what you got? You got the gyros? Yeah, you guys got the gyros. We had our Sui and I had our fun
The turkey
nuts.
leg was a plan. We just never did it.
Well, I said the turkey leg was what I originally was going to get until the mention of the sausage, cheese, and bread. I was like, oh, that sounds incredible.
That's really good
It's
too.
so simple. It's literally just a giant ass piece of wheat toast, a giant slab of cheese, and then a big old sausage. That's all it is. But it was fucking good.
Was it like a bratwurst?
Yeah, like a giant ass one. What is like the 5 basics of Ren Faire? Okay, so basic number 1. So the basics. So
there are no roads.
There are no roads. Yeah, there are no roads. So, oh god, the basics of Ren Faire. People, dude, my mouth is watering. Yeah. I wanted to go again.
Let's go to the one that got suggested.
The one that was suggested. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like 35 minutes away-ish.
Yeah, it's not
35 miles at least or something.
I think
minutes, miles, one of the two.
One of those two. It's still not too bad.
It's through the next month.
Yeah. But the thing is, so essentials for Ren Faire. Number 1, there's going to be dust. If you have allergies, be prepared for the dust.
Blow your nose.
Blow your fucking nose, please. Number 2,
there technically aren't any like actual bathrooms unless you go to specific spots.
Unless you go to specific spots.
So get ready for porta potties.
They have a bunch of privies that are the porta potties, but there are a couple actual bathrooms that you can go into.
Bring cash with you.
Bring cash.
And your actual ID.
Bring cash and your actual ID because it's at most just about every place there is cash only. So if you're there without, and they have ATMs if you forget to get cash. But if
you're drinking, you need your ID. You can't just take a picture of it.
That's just drinking 101 that you have to.
No, but I mean like.
Yeah, but there were people that were trying to say, I got a picture of it. It's like, no, sorry.
You gotta bring it with you.
You gotta actually bring your ID. Yeah. People are going to be in character. People are going to be in character. Be ready for that. And then the 5th one is, and this just sounds like a cop-out one, but it makes sense. Just go for it. Just have fun. Like, no one's going to...
Try new things.
Just get immersed. That's the number one thing that I love about Ren Faire. It's like you can just get immersed.
Like, now I have an idea of what it is.
Yeah. It's like
so next time I'll just
you can have like I was able to do my shitty British accent that I use for Ren Faire for homebrewers when we play D&D. And just got to have drinks and hang out with people and chat with people and, just have a good grand old fucking time. And it's just a lot of fun. I would say probably the top one out of those 5 is bring cash, because everything is cash only, and if you don't have cash,
there may be some spots that take card,
like very few spots. But yeah, if you want to eat, if you want to have alcohol, if you want to buy trinkets or necklaces or anything, bring cash. That's probably my biggest one, because you always got to be prepared with that cash money. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love going every year, and I'm so glad that Chrissy was working it this year. She did fucking awesome. And they got to do Ren Quest, which was funny because I was pseudo cosplaying my character from our D&D series homebrewers, Ren Fist. So Ren, I would put the name Ren for short, since it's easier to go by Ren instead of Ren Fist, Ren Fest. Yeah, where's
what is there at the fair?
Oh God! So
lots
they have So they have a bunch of little stages that for performances and shows and theatrical things, and they have minstrels and like there's people that dance. There's dancing. There's musicians that
play. There's also some like carnival game.
There's a bunch of games. You could throw knives, throw axes, you can throw lances. There's a dunking booth. Basically, think of like a Renaissance era carnival. It's basically like the best way. Or like your
state fair.
Or like take your state fair and turn it set it in
kind of like a medieval setting.
In a medieval Renaissance-esque era.
That's basically
think if a state fair was run by LARPers. That's basically the best way I can explain Ren Faire. Because you got like the carnival games where like you could throw knives and throw axes and stuff. You got various games you could play there.
You got like a shooting range.
You have a shooting range. You have archery. You have
games and food and good times.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, the food and instead of deep fried food, you get like turkey legs and steak on a steak and sausage.
Granted, there are like regular like food.
There's regular
people
food
that just don't want to adventure.
There's regular food there. Like you can get like a sandwich or get.
Well, someone else like there was a couple that sat across from us. They got Chinese there.
Yeah, they had a Chinese food truck.
Yeah,
which was funny. They're like, we come to Renaissance Fair, we see a show, and we top it off with Chinese food. I'm like, that's actually pretty incredible. It's just a lot of fun to go to. I love going every year, seeing friends, hanging with friends. It's always the goodest of time. It sounds cool. I don't think we have those sorts of fairs in Australia, unless maybe Sydney, but that's like 7 hours away from me. Oh, dude,
you're Australian.
Damn, dude, from the land down under itself. I'm apologizing in advance for being American and mispronouncing any cities. I know it's not Melbourne. I know it's Melbourne. I've
only ever heard it as Melbourne.
Because Melbourne is how we Americans say it, but like spelled, Australians say, you idiots, it's Melbourne. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Sorry. No, but wow, yeah, that's...
I always just thought it was just the accent that made it sound that way.
Maybe, who knows?
I don't know.
But no, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I also grew up in the middle of nowhere.
You also grew up in the middle of nowhere too, yeah. So that makes sense. No, yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really cool, and it just yeah, I'm totally with you there. So yeah, so would you go again next year?
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh yeah, I'm about to say you may not want to go, but May and I go every year, so it's gonna. I'd say you loved it, and so we're gonna go and keep going and have fun times.
Sometimes it just takes me a while to get into it.
Oh no, it's now that you know what it is, you're good to go. All right, so I'm gonna power through some of these other ones because I know we like to keep the podcast to like 2 hours and run an hour 17.
Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah, basically. So I'll power through a few of these shorter topics because I know the last topic we're gonna chat about some stuff, which is the spoiler culture.
Oh, okay.
So,
a spoiler for spoiler.
In prior podcasts, I've been talking about that I was caught up on Critical Role, and now I was listening to Adventure Zone, and You're
officially further than I am.
I'm official further than you are. I am getting to the last 10 episodes of the first campaign, and I was not ready for Griffin McElroy to all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, turn up the emotional value of that series by like 1,000%.
Griffin McElroy. How dare you?
How fucking dare you? I mean, his storytelling is great just because of the dumb shit that the McElroy family's gotten to do.
The late Merle High Church.
The late Merle High Church rolled a 5, basically. No, but it's also great because as they go further along, they're getting into D&D more and more and more. And like they're adding a bunch of stuff to like their characters and stuff and really kind of getting into it more and more. When at the beginning they're just like, fucking D&D, okay, whatever. And it's actually really kind of nice seeing that because like as a fan of both Critical Role and the Adventure Zone, we didn't get that initial awkwardness with Critical Role because they'd already been playing for 2 years. But I'm definitely willing to bet that first session was very
awkward.
Well, very much like the first session you hear on the Adventure Zone because aside from
like our first session,
which was streamed when we did Extra Life a couple years ago. Which can you believe that's coming up on 2 years ago that happened? That's crazy to think about. But yeah, it was it's been really satisfying seeing them really get into the game and then like getting excited for all this shit that they've been wanting to build and stuff like that. And I love the emotional stuff that's happened. And it's crazy because as much as I like Taco a lot, I really think Magnus is pulling ahead as my favorite. Just because of a lot of... I think what solidified that for me was there's an episode...
Who are these people?
Who are these people? We're talking about a podcast we've talked about in the past called The Adventure Zone that I said I was listening to. I'm just kind of giving my update.
It's basically a Dungeons & Dragons podcast.
Basically a Dungeons & Dragons podcast with the guys that do My Brother, and Me, and their dad. And they all play Dungeons & Dragons. And it was...
Which, if you're not familiar with that, it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
The Adventure
Zone. Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's they did an episode about the backstories, and just seeing Travis as connected as he had been, and just kind of like, I wrote the backstory for my character before we even started, and seeing how like that emotional connection, I'm like, oh man, and just seeing how everything that Magnus as a character does makes so much sense for what Travis has done as a person creating the character. I'm like, that's crazy. That's insane. That's cool. Yeah, the Adventure Zone. That's how you say it. But yeah.
That's kind of more or less what I did with my Paladin.
Yeah. Like you've been doing with yours.
I had more of her story written out than I did for Amaryllis.
I would say, when I really started focusing on Ren Fist for the Homebrewers, which the Homebrewers is the D&D stuff that we do, which we're trying to do monthly.
It's hard when our DM and 2 of our players live a little further away.
Yeah, so just getting together and varying work schedules gets complicated. But I think that's just
and distance.
That's just D&D, like trying to, like finding the time to be able to play.
Who can relate?
Woo! Yeah.
Double time for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I had like a bunch of stuff, and I'm actually like to the homebrew. Yeah. But it's one of those things where I had a lot of stuff that I was working on for Renfist, and like as we've been doing each of the sessions now, I'm actually learning with Renfist that like I'm thinking I'm wanting to play him differently now because of conversations we'd had about stuff about where I originally thought he could go, but kind of with how Brad's kind of crafted the story and shit going on, I'm really seeing it going a different direction now. And I'm actually really happy and excited to see where that goes, because that's going to create a whole new dynamic. It feels way more natural, because I'm also kind of tying in just a lot of personal shit that I've dealt with, specifically with like the situation with my birth mother, kind of trying to, which that's super personal shit I'm never going to tell publicly, but privately people have known my struggle. I call her my birth mother because, you know, the one that's I call my mom is my stepmom. And but the whole just an idea of right as you think you're distanced enough from it, from a situation that's been plaguing you, it just comes back and keeps coming back, and playing with that idea, like that feels so natural to me because it's what I've dealt with. But it would be interesting to play it from a different perspective, you know, seeing someone that while flawed because of his situation, also is flawed because of what he's done, you know, and kind of coming to terms with that kind of shit. Which I originally was like, no, his end game is he's got to get back to his father, and I'm just like, but does he though now? So it's like that's kind of interesting and stuff right there. But just kind of seeing all that stuff, marathoning some other shit right now. I finally beat Heaven's Ward for Final Fantasy 14, and I'm well through the patches. I'm trying to get caught up before Shadowbringers comes out in July. I got to May's favorite part, which is when Sir Elmeric got stabbed. Spoiler alert for like a 4-year-old game. May, isn't that your favorite part? I'm surprised she's not giving me the finger right now.
She's laying down.
So she's chilling. She's like, yeah, no, it's totally my favorite part, but it's not her favorite part at all.
She's actually cursing you right now.
She's quietly cursing me. She's gonna stab her voodoo doll of me later on. So it's yeah, I heard that laugh. That was great.
The laugh of acknowledgement.
Yeah, right next to her Sir Elmeric shrine. She's gonna stab the voodoo just in the shoulder.
I do this in your name.
I do this in your name. You.
In the name of my husbando. I smite you.
I smite you. Yeah, basically. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun there, marathoning all that fun shit. Let's see. We released a new video on YouTube yesterday. The long-awaited Which Would You RP episode 3. May, the main reason why she's not on the podcast today is because she actually died of cringe from that video. She did.
Oh,
yeah, I love the walking by. I did. That was awesome.
It's her ghost.
It's spooky.
Also, random update. I decided to look up Caleb is still okay.
Caleb is still okay. Caleb, yeah, is Caleb all right in Critical Role? Yes, he's okay. The most important question of the day.
It's the new Crit Watch. Is Caleb okay?
Yeah, the new Crit Watch is...
Mentally,
no, but that's already been established.
None of them are okay mentally, to be fair.
Yeah.
True. That is also very true. But, yeah, so Which Would You RP? May, you died of cringe.
Yep.
You do not like the cringe at all. I would argue that video was so much fun to edit and trim down. Babe, what was your favorite part about finally being on a... And, I mean, when we were known as the Snazzy Gamers and we were on the Snazzy Cast, you played Which Would You RP. But sitting down and doing, like, the game show format, which I really like how we did the format. I just need to make sure I'm not jerking the microphone to make the loud noise of wind.
Jerking the phone.
I'm jerking
the mic.
Jerking the mic, yeah, basically. But yeah, moving the microphone back and forth to make the really loud, sharp noises that I had to edit down as much as possible.
We need to get you a lapel mic.
We all need lapel mics, because I think the homebrewers would sound better with lapel mics and stuff like that. But yeah, have lapel mics. But regardless. So, I'm proud of how the format of that video came out, and I'm really excited to do more of those formats. What was it like for you to finally be in an episode?
It was fun.
Well, okay, as fun as it could be looking at cringy bad role plays. The DDLB one, like,
no.
It hurt my soul. You're dead to me when you saw that. That's one of my favorite moments of the video. And then another one of my favorite moments is with May, when she just hides
under the blanket.
She hides under my Vegas Golden Knights blanket, and she's like, "Can I just stay here?" That was so fucking great.
It made me laugh when she just, like, begrudgingly comes out of the blanket.
Yeah, when she begrudgingly...
I'm just like, I feel you.
And I love the zoom in on her face where she's like, ugh, so good. Yeah, you guys, I would argue your guys' reactions was probably the funniest part of that video. And
More so her.
Well, your reactions were great, dude. Like I said, you're kind of deadpan. You're dead to me. Or like, and the like, you know, the me asking you, so are you gonna do away with yaoi now? And you're like, well, I've seen worse. And I'm like, really? What? Which she still hasn't told me what the worst part you've seen has been.
Does this encourage you to leave?
Does this encourage you to leave your yaoi fandom?
I've seen worse.
What have you seen?
I'm not saying.
Air it out on the podcast, babe. What is the worst thing you've seen related to yaoi? Oh.
I've told you privately.
You have to refresh my memory after the podcast.
Yeah, not here.
No, you don't have to refresh.
Is that bad?
To me, yeah.
Like, is it bad?
Everyone has their own standards of what is really bad.
Oh, but none of us can know publicly?
Not on the podcast.
Is it that bad?
I don't want to talk about it.
She's choosing she doesn't want to talk about it in public.
Well, now I want to know afterwards.
We'll find out. Yeah, you can refresh my memory and let her know afterwards. Okay. Regardless, though. So, yeah, that was very fun. Really great.
Educational.
Very educational. I'm excited for whatever the next video is going to be. I have a couple ideas. I
still gotta work on shorts. Oops.
We have that funny idea for a short that we came up with last night. I
gotta get that written down.
It's not going to be topical anymore, but originally I wanted to do... But we needed to do the Witch with GRP. I originally was going to be concocting a video about bad calls in real life after that Game 3 with the Blues. But it was just going to be it was going to be me in a ref outfit, blindfolded, trying to ref you cooking, making toast, and May playing 14. And I was going to do that, but it was just the cost to find a ref outfit and to get that all shot and written. I was like, that's just not going to happen. And then, we could do it now, but it's it's not going to be topical anymore. So it is.
I mean, it never stops happening in sports anyway.
It never stops, yeah.
It'll never not be topical.
Yeah. Just
in reference to what you're thinking of, it would be topical.
Another funny idea I had was going to be an in memoriam for Joe Thornton because he's old as shit. No, not an in memoriam, a retirement speech for Joe Thornton because he's old as dicks. Sometimes I can still hear his voice. He's literally playing on the ice right now.
From here.
Yeah, no. We got some cool stuff, so I'm excited for whatever the next video ends up being. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good shit. Personal stuff. I know we didn't have a video last week. I've been adjusting to a new job, a way more permanent job. I know, a few weeks ago, I talked about how I was starting to work regularly again, in an actual office environment. I did a 2-week contract for one job, which allowed me to get into a more permanent position.
Which is the one
the one that I'm currently in now. We didn't have a video last Saturday because I was still adjusting to everything.
And then Ren Faire, right?
And then Ren Faire, we had to prep for Ren Faire and all that stuff. So we kind of didn't really do anything.
We didn't want to film that late.
Yeah, it would really didn't feel that late when we had to be up early for Ren Faire and just kind of the fatigue of your first week back.
It's hell week.
It's a hell week, yeah. But it's I'm good now. I mean, I'm sad it's Sunday, but regardless. But yeah, so we're good now. We're all good to go. But yeah, that new job's been really fun. We have some upcoming events. We have Ronin Expo coming up in June. We have Anime Expo in July. You can catch Mira and I there on Saturday. May will be there all 4 days. She'll be there with Kane and Chrissy Suya, hanging with all them boys, all them good boys and girls. And hanging out and all that fun stuff. We're not doing Fanime this year. One year we will do Fanime, but we're not doing it this year. It's weird. Usually, seeing everyone getting ready for Fanime and put their stuff out, I start getting, that case of FOMO where you're just fuck, I wish I was going. I'm not getting it this year. I'm really not. I'm seeing people crunch for
because we're getting
Fanime.
close. We're getting close to the lease.
I think it's just. I have personal reasons why I have trepidation about Fanime. It has nothing to do with the con itself. It just has to do with people that we associated with in a certain point in time that kind of go, and
they're toxic.
And it's also mainly my personal anxiety and demons about it, and just issues with that kind of made me not excited for Fanime, and I kind of don't like to think about Fanime because of that. which is sad because like good friends like our friends Naldo and Kelsey, our friend Colin, I know Tony's going to be up there.
Yeah, but we see them at other events.
But we see them at other events. But just like seeing them go, it's like I should be like I'm excited for people to be going. You know, it's like this is the con before AX that everyone basically is going to try to be at. Which is cool. But it's like usually I start feeling that FOMO and it's like, man, I wish I was going. It's like I'm not feeling it this year. But I also think it's just because I have other things to worry about and stress about. So it's kind of
negated it.
Yeah, kind of a little bit. You know, I would say I was more sad that we didn't get to go to Level Up Expo than Fanime, because I love going to Vegas. Like,
it'll be there next year.
It will be there next year, and we can also always just take a trip to Vegas.
Come hell or high water, we will be in a better situation.
Yeah.
By that time next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Come hell or high water.
Well, we're in our personal lives, we're trying to get stuff taken care of as well, which I think is also playing to that. So. Yeah, hustling, trying to get shit done. But, yeah, so we won't be at Fanime, but we will be at Ronin Expo. We're going to be at Anime Expo. The whole crew will be there for one day, but you can derp around and see May all 4 days.
We're doing one day because it's a group.
Doing a group and also being financially conscious. Like, I cannot justify you and I in our...
Well, no, I mean, like, just...
We're going for one day.
All of us are going to be there.
Yeah, because we're doing a group cosplay, yeah. But it's like, we can't justify going all 4 days, but May could. Well, especially staying with Crystal, Kate and Chrissy Suya, yeah.
Well, on top of that, I mean, it's just... It keeps getting expensive.
I can't... It's getting harder and harder just to justify AX regardless of, like, money and financial stuff, just because it's like, I look at the amount you've got to pay to go, and you're just like, fuck, are you serious?
Especially if you don't have a place of your own to stay at.
Yeah, it's
or
like,
friends you can shack up
serious,
with.
Yeah.
It's just like, granted, Airbnb is probably a little cheaper, but at the same time,
it depends on the Airbnb. Yeah, it really depends.
How close do you want to get to the con? You're gonna fork out over $1,000.
You can get a more. I'd say the amount that I have spent the last 3 years for AX. Yeah, I would.
You probably could have put a down payment for a house with that.
Yeah, I could have probably in the years I've gone to AX probably put a cash offer down on a down payment for a home. Mm-hmm. It's that much money. AX is expensive. For a while this was my vacation con, but not anymore.
Now it's just stress con.
Now it's just stress. How the fuck am I going to afford this con, basically? But yeah, so we got that coming up. We have some smaller things we got going on. We're going to see your cousin play a show. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be on May 31st, so that'll be fun. We may be in San Diego.
First U.S. tour.
Yeah, we may be in San Diego to see the Adventure Zone.
We'll just have to see.
The book tour they're going on for the Murder on the Rockport Limited. Rockport Limited, right? If I remember correctly. Because it's not Express.
I've slept since then.
I know. We may be going to see the Nolan North and Troy Baker show in Ontario, which I would love to go. That'd be a lot of fun. The three of us would be going to that one.
We'll have to see our finances by the end of this week.
We'll have to see what it looks like.
Just check in and be like...
Yeah, just check in and be good to go from there. Yeah, and then whatever the fuck else we decide to do.
I know we were, like, entertaining the idea of maybe anime-manga in August.
Yeah, we're still entertaining that idea. That definitely could be something.
Early.
It definitely could be an idea. Yeah, I'm totally okay with that. But yeah, that's about it in that regard. I have this last topic that we can talk about, and then that'll be our last topic. I don't think we're going to be spoiling... I'm not going to be spoiling anything in this discussion, because it's a discussion about spoiler culture anyway. And I saved this to the end, so that way we can gauge the actual time that we have. So it's like, we're good on time. So we'll go right on ahead, and we'll go through this last topic. So, last podcast we had talked about, and we were originally going to talk about this last podcast, but for the sake of time, and especially us talking about Avengers Endgame in full spoiler fashion last week, or last podcast, we had...
it was pretty early still.
It was just before... What's the holy shit?
3 hours ago from Anime News Network, Nozomi Entertainment to release Gravitation TV series OVA on Blu-ray September 3rd. Holy
May
shit.
getting the hot takes. Gravitation's gas is getting an OVA.
Yeah,
You watch it in
I'm gonna
Japanese?
watch that. Wait, it said, the complete Gravitation Blu-ray collection on September 3rd.
The complete...
entire series.
I can watch this laughable dub. I'm excited.
Oh, good. Yep, they're gonna have English dub on it.
Oh,
You
good.
can suffer with me.
Oh, I hear it's so bad it's good territory. Like, I'm excited. I am super fucking excited for that. But anyway.
Good show. The dub is just...
Anyway. So, and we're dub lovers, and you do not like that dub.
It's rough.
Regardless. Okay. What's up? Wolf.
Because rough.
Oh, yeah. Wolf. Wolf, motherfucker.
Speaking of...
So,
Kind of wagon.
it was really... what the fuck are you laughing about now? I'm trying to start this last topic, and we got our peanut gallery losing their shit right now. Oh, shit.
Walk already looked. It's fine.
What are you laughing at, man? This is a great...
We interrupt this podcast to go to the peanut gallery.
Yeah. What are we laughing at the peanut gallery? Alright, let's take a look at what she said. What the fuck?
I've seen that one. Babe, I showed you that post.
I know, but every time I see it, it's what the fuck.
Placement is important, yo.
Oh my fucking god. For those of you who don't know...
They can't see it anyway.
The post says, when sewing, always remember pattern placement is key.
Oh, bother.
It looks like Pooh is fucking himself.
I mean, how else can you go fuck yourself?
Yeah, quite literally. That was fucking hilarious.
Anywho.
Anyway, so this was a topic we were going to talk about last podcast, because we do every other week. This subject we're going to talk about last podcast, but didn't end up happening. Because of the sake of time, I wanted to talk about Avengers and stuff like that. Is we kind of had this really interesting conversation, and kind of the Mira send to me is what Romano was saying. But we've had this really interesting kind of personal conversation about spoiler culture and kind of the whole idea of, tag your spoilers, spoilers, don't share spoilers, don't spoil this for me, which is a relatively new concept. I would say with how big the internet's gotten, etc., like it's definitely blown up in recent years, but it kind of has been sparked recently just because of the mass differentiating reactions to two really big pop culture things right now.
One of which is ending
as we're recording this. The final episode is coming out, and they're going to find out who got the Iron Throne, and it's a shame that it had to go to that person. I don't know. I've not watched a single episode of Game of Thrones, so I cannot spoil that shit at all.
I mean, granted, we know this is never going to happen, but why couldn't it have gone to Ghost?
Yeah, why couldn't the fucking... Can you imagine the doggo throne? Like, that's the best throne.
Have a direwolf on the throne.
May, would you love that throne if there was a doggo on the throne? Yeah, she's just like, yeah.
The North will remember, because there was a direwolf on the Iron Throne.
Yeah, right? It's like, there it is. And the doggo's just like, bork, bitches. Like, I'm your fucking... I'm on the fucking Iron Throne.
I'm your king now.
I'm your king now, bitch.
Where's your god now?
Where's your god? That is such a D&D move, though. Is that, like, all these people are fighting to get on the throne, but the, like, ranger's companion gets on the throne and ends up
can someone DM, like, a Game of Thrones Hunger Games, like, Battle Royale-ish style?
And have someone play Ghost.
Bork, bitches!
Yeah, have someone play Ghost. There you go. But anyway, so the reason why we bring Game of Thrones is because the reactions to spoilers for Game of Thrones was the exact opposite reaction to when Avengers Endgame first came out. Avengers Endgame, there was this, like massive thing of... Don't spoil the movie. Thanos demands your silence. Do not spoil this movie. Let people see the movie. And then the Russo brothers said, and it's because of the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
After 2 weeks.
After 2 weeks, the spoiler ban was up. And
people were complaining.
People were complaining about that. But the thing is that spoiler ban, like, lifting that makes sense because the Far From Home trailer comes out, and that is a direct spoiler.
Like, the very first couple minutes of the trailer.
Very first scene is a spoiler for the end of Endgame. And it's one of those things where...
Endgame's Endgame, as it were.
Endgame's Endgame, yes. But it's, but it was one of those things where people did not want to get spoiled.
Which we didn't.
Which we did not, yeah. But, on the other hand, Game of Thrones isn't even out. Like, the new episode isn't even out 5 minutes, and you don't want to go on Twitter because everyone is talking about all the shit that's happened in Game of Thrones. And I'm going to be respectful and not spoil anything for, like, the people that are not watching it or haven't been able to catch up.
Also, because we don't watch it.
I don't watch it. I haven't read a single page of the books.
I've seen season 1.
I haven't watched a single...
And I got like halfway through the first book.
I haven't watched a single minute of the actual TV show. I've shown you... Like, you've shown me clips.
I'm the god of tits and wine.
Oh, that's incredible. That is incredible. Like
Tyrion will be a spiritual animal for you.
Oh, I can imagine so. But no, it's...
Hello, Jon Snow.
That's my... And it's Jon Snow. What do you... You did the mouth noise. Oh, that was...
I did it quiet enough.
Oh, that was... Oh, my God. That was beautiful. I'm so glad we're live streaming this right fucking now. But no, regardless, like, there's been this whole conversation about spoiler culture and people talking about spoilers and whatnot. And it's been a really interesting thing to think about. Like, this whole... Like... Don't spoil anything. The meme before was tag your spoilers and stuff like that. In fact, we did a fucking short about tag your spoilers.
Yeah, we did.
We did, yeah. We did a fucking short. And May got to spoil some fucking anime for me that... Spoiler alert to that video.
Knew.
I already knew everything about that.
I think that's probably why you picked those.
Yeah, well, I picked the ones that I knew. But yeah, it's just been interesting, just kind of this whole spoiler culture. But like... You know, there's discussions about, like, why people feel it's okay to spoil Game of Thrones when it wasn't okay to spoil Endgame, to which people argue back and forth. And I'm not wanting to have a debate on that. I just want to talk about just spoiler culture as a whole. And just kind of our infatuation with and our kind of, like, the obsession of the concept of spoilers. It's like... I hate spoilers, and I have a unique story about it, because I used to do commercials when I was a kid. And one of the commercials that I did, the guy that was the teacher on set, he had done the teaching for the kids that were on the second and third Matrix movies. And he had spoiled the end of Revolutions, the last movie, saying it's like, oh yeah, it's like, I was working with them in this final scene, Neo was dead, and all this stuff.
Spoiler alert for an old movie.
Spoiler alert for a movie from 15 years ago, or like 16 years ago. And that was like 8 months, like it was like months before even Reloaded had come out. So Matrix Revolutions comes out, and I'm a kid, and I sit and I'm watching, and I see the ending of the movie, and Neo dies at the end of the movie, and I kind of, as a kid, was like, oh...
That's what he meant.
I already knew this, and it made me sad. And it just, it's weird because, like, when it comes to certain things, like, don't even talk to me about it until I'm done watching it, playing it, etc. That was me with Red Dead Redemption. That was with Red Dead 2. That was you with Kingdom Hearts. That was May with Persona 5 for the most part. You didn't look anything up for Persona 5, right, May? You ended up getting...
She looked up the thing about Akechi because TV tropes.
That's right, yeah. But you were actively trying to avoid spoilers. What's another thing you tried to avoid spoilers for in recent time that you can think of?
Until I couldn't stand anymore DMC5.
Devil May Cry 5, yeah.
Right.
Fuck it.
DMC5, yeah, that was one. It's like, there's certain things that we just... You know, we don't want spoiled. But then things like, for example, I know a bunch of spoilers about Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm not angry about it, because part of it was I'd walk in on scenes when May was doing, like, I had Harchafont's death spoiled, I had Papalymo's death spoiled, I had, like, we joked earlier about Sir Emmerich getting stabbed. Like, you could not miss that moment, because May was calling bullshit in the apartment.
And getting angry at the game.
And said, fuck this game. This game is horrible. Which he came back relatively quick, though, man. So at least he came back relatively quick.
Well, she found out he was okay.
Yeah.
So.
She had me look at the Wikipedia and be like, is he dead? I'm like, it says alive.
I figured because I saw the trailer for Stormblood, he's in there, so I know he was okay. I'm still angry, though.
Yeah, you still wanted me to look at the wiki.
No, I didn't say...
Yeah, you did. You had me look up on the wiki to see if he was alive.
What kind of bullshit is this?
Round 1. Ding, ding.
You know, we're going to fight. I'm going to fight you on this. No, anyway.
She's like, okay, I quit.
But it's like things like Final Fantasy XIV. I regretted it later because I ended up loving Persona 5 so much. Critical Role, I actively...
No, I said me with Critical Role.
You with Critical Role, yeah, because like I'll tell you all the shit that's going on in Critical Role. And Adventure Zone, yeah. It's like I know...
Because a few things I looked at
Yeah.
But other things, I'm just like, I'll get to it eventually. Just tell me.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a big giant.
There's certain things that I'm okay with getting spoiled for, but those certain things I don't want spoiled. Like that was me.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's like I'm okay. I was okay looking up all the people that died in last week's episode, and all the people that died in the third episode.
Just this season, really.
Just this season, yeah, because I know it was gonna be
the final season.
Yeah, but it's one of those things for me that it's just interesting to think about that. Like 10 years ago, we cared about spoilers, but it wasn't a pop culture thing. It's like.
Well, the internet exploded in 10 years.
Yeah, it's just really interesting to think about, and I'm just trying to find what question I was trying to pull from this. It's just an interesting thing to talk about because there's a lot to talk about with it. But I guess I'll just ask this, like what do you think of like the current spoiler culture today? And are you cool with like the massive pushes of don't spoil anything? Are you cool with the spoilers being available, if that makes sense?
The way I see it is mainly just because like if something just came out or if there's like a time period where people need to sit down and watch something, like if you're gonna post about it, just be like, hey, I'm gonna be posting this shit. If you don't want spoils, let me know. I'll block you from these statuses for now, or something like that. I mean, like just try to do general courtesy stuff before you start posting spoilers, just so people have the opportunity to hide your posts or something.
Yeah, I'm hearing the rain right now. Yeah,
it is raining.
It is raining, my dudes.
But I mean, there are some things where just, especially with Endgame, when the directors themselves even said, "Hey, during this time, please don't spoil things."
Yeah. And
then they lift the ban. Like when they're lifting the spoiler ban, at that point, you're free to post.
I'm going to say this. I'm surprised it was so soon. I thought that they would give it a month.
Far From Home.
They could have waited to put out the trailer. They definitely could have waited.
I didn't care about Game of Thrones spoilers, so I asked what the heck to a friend who is watching, whereas when I asked my dad and stepmom if they were caught up, they looked at me, don't you say a fucking word to me.
That was my mom that
was me with Walking Dead for a while.
That was my mom and dad. Well, mom specifically, because they had watched the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones before season 3 had come out. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, season 3 was the Red Wedding. And was
it 3?
That was season 3.
It was 2.
No, season 3.
See, this is why I don't watch it.
So season 3 happens, and the Red Wedding is a thing, and I walked out, and I'm like, "Are you guys like going to be watching Game of Thrones at all?" And they're like, "Well, we're going to be," which they ended up haven't picked it up since. They're like, "Well, we're going to be." I'm like, "Apparently, some crazy shit's happened." And Mom looked at me. She's like, and my mom never uses the she rarely uses the word "fuck," but she literally looked at me and said, "I will fucking kill you if you spoil whatever." So I don't even like that I know that this thing is called the Red Wedding. Like, fuck you. I don't want to know. So it's like, and because I wasn't watching it and I felt it was too late. It was like, whatever. Yeah.
See, with me, it's just like, especially with Game of Thrones, I mean, like, there's so many characters to keep track of in the show that I'm just sitting there like, someone can just tell me who dies in what episode. Yeah. I'm not going to really care too much unless it's like a character I started attaching to. Like in the first season I watched, I was just like, no, not that character. But
yeah.
No, not that one.
The big crime is, why did they kill Jason Momoa?
What?
Khal Drogo.
He was Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones, and he
died in the first season.
Yeah, they killed him in the first season. Yeah. Oh, say it on the podcast right now. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Can you text me what happens, because I want to know what happens. And I'm gonna read it on the podcast. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. I told you we're not gonna be spoiling anything in this discussion.
Basically, just like just practice common courtesy. Some people don't want to see that, and some people aren't gonna get the opportunity.
I think it's fucked up when people just blurt spoilers without thought.
Yeah, or just be like, if you do spoilers in that same post, just be like, hey, warning, spoilers ahead. Put some space in between.
I've gotten to the point anymore that I just don't post. Like, I'll say, hey, I just saw this, and I'll say on Facebook, for example, like, hey, just
yeah. That was with me with Voltron. It's like, okay, so I finally watched the new season. Scream at me in my DMs.
In the DMs, yeah.
It's like, because I have people that haven't seen the new season yet, because it literally just
shit.
dropped that morning. I had passed that part in the book, and when my brother saw the scene for the first time, I was gasping and freaking out about it, and he glared at me and said, "Shut up." He would,
That's
too.
funny. That's really fucking funny.
But, like,
I know who got the Iron Throne.
Here's the thing. I have less sympathy with Game of Thrones because that book series has been out for over 10 years.
Yeah.
It may not be finished, but,
Yeah.
like, a majority of the books have been out 10 plus years. If you haven't sat down to read the books by now, and you're worried about spoilers for the show, I don't have any sympathy for you.
True.
You could have taken the time to... You could have taken the time to read it, you could have listened to it on an audiobook or whatever, or you could have just looked the shit up on your own, but you didn't.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right fucking now.
I'll look at it later.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, there are just certain things that it's just like, just practice common courtesy. Not everyone's going to be able to, like, jump in right away or have the opportunity to hide your posts straight away, especially with Facebook's algorithm being so stupid and putting posts out of order.
Right.
Like, just be courteous to people, because some people just don't want to get spoiled. They want to go in blind as much as they can.
True, yeah.
And then other things, like, if they say they don't give a shit, like, if you have to, there are some friends on my Facebook that are just like, okay, if you don't want spoilers for this, I'm going to make you a separate list for people to not tag in these statuses or to hide them or whatever, just because I want people to get caught up. Or just whatever. Now, there are certain things, like certain movies, if you spoil the ending for somebody before they've gotten a chance to see it, like, for example, like Fight Club.
Yeah.
Or The Usual Suspects or something like that. Just, it's one of those things, you do not spoil that ending for them.
Oh, I have... Here's who got the Iron Throne.
Why? This is such bullshit. But anyway,
spoiler alert, Ghost is in it. And gets pets.
I told you.
Ghost gets pets. That's...
Romano messaged me. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, because she hears us talking about it, so
yeah.
she's...
I'm like, I have no idea.
So anyway, it's so weird that this is happening while we're having this spoiler conversation.
Well, I mean, at least it's happening through private messages. And
yeah,
not, like,
and I'm showing you my phone, like,
but yeah,
covering up, yeah.
Just with certain things, don't spoil it for them.
Yeah.
Like, the ending of, like, Fight Club, Usual Suspects, or the ending of BioShock, for example.
Oh,
don't fucking spoil that shit.
Apparently, I had spoiled...
Let people go in blind.
I'd spoiled the ending for one of the BioShock games from something I had posted to a friend, but the game had been out for a long time, but he got into it late. You know?
See, like, with me, for BioShock, I had the ending for Infinite spoiled.
God, that's such a good ending, though, too.
Like,
that's so good.
I somehow managed to avoid the first game spoiler.
Yeah.
Until I've watched somebody else play it, and I kept making note of, like, what's the deal with this phrase being used over and over, and they're just like, you'll see.
Would you kindly is an iconic phrase, by the way, yeah.
And then the ending of the game happened, and I'm just like...
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh.
That blew your fucking mind, right? Because it shows all the instances of that. It's like, oh, shit.
Now, Infinite, just, like, when I had that spoiled, that made me so angry.
It was such a...
Because that would have been such a great mindfuck if
I powered through that game. I went in blind. I beat that game, and I got that ending. And I was like, holy fucking shit. That was insane. I guess that leads to the last question I want to say about this, and then we'll wrap up the podcast. Is there anything that was spoiled for you that you had the most violent reaction to, and or had you so upset that it actually ruined your enjoyment of it?
See, I don't know. Like, I had Infinite spoiled for me, and I was just kind of like, well, that just diminishes my ability to want to play it.
That sucks. Because that's a great game.
Because I'm just sitting there like, what's the point now? I can't even work up to that ending now.
Yeah.
I already know. Now I'm looking at everything that gets set up in the game, and I already know the twist.
What game?
BioShock Infinite.
Oh, yeah.
I had that ending spoiled for me.
Oh, yeah, that was wild.
That made me so mad.
A wild ending, yeah.
The second one's not that good.
BioShock 2 was not that good, yeah.
It's kind of sweet.
But yeah, like other than that, I don't know. I can't really think of anything that made me so, like, vehemently angry.
I remember I had to spoil Avengers Infinity War for you because of how upset May was at the end of it.
That was a different circumstance, though.
Yeah.
It's not like you were purposely going out of your way to just be like, oh, by the way, this is what happened.
I was talking, it's like, yeah, we had to calm down May, this person died.
Whereas Bioshock Infinite,
Yeah.
someone was just like, oh, yeah, that thing at the end where such and such character, it turns out to be this character. I'm just like, fuck you, man. I haven't played yet.
Constants and variables, yeah. Yeah, that would ruin.
Yeah, she did that with me, too.
She's like, what?
She doesn't understand it either. She's just like, why?
I don't know.
I had to Google it because I'm like, I don't know.
Of all people,
Greg
why
had
that?
to go on Twitter.
I had to go on Twitter. I'm just like, okay, all right, that's a thing.
But yeah, like, other than that, I don't know if there's anything that, like, made me so angry about getting it spoiled.
Mine.
I'm also trying to remember what all got spoiled for me.
Mine was the.
Maybe the bit with Red Dead 1 about Dutch.
Oh yeah.
Because I knew the bit with John because that has been.
Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows
spoiler,
that
and
ending.
everyone knows that ending. Yeah.
But like Dutch in particular, I didn't know what his whole bit, like how it concluded.
And I think for me, because I made the throwaway comments like, man, this is weird because all of these guys are dead, and you're just like, wait, what? I'm like,
well, because I knew John died, I didn't know everyone else had. Too,
I was like,
in the
yeah,
first
John
game.
had to snuff all these dudes out, and you're just like, but I love Dutch. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, and you looked at me and you're like, yeah, his was kind of heartbreaking. I was just like,
this is heartbreaking.
and then I ended up having to look it up. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It made me cry.
Yeah. Mine is, and I'll readily admit, part of the reason why I think Persona 4 is the least good Persona. I hate to say it, people swear by Persona 4. They say Persona 4 is like the god tier of Personas, which I would say no.
I hear the fight bells in the background.
To which I would say no, that goes to 3 and 5. Sorry, sit the fuck down.
Hey, we're cosplaying from 3.
We are cosplaying from 3, yeah. 3 was my introduction to it, and
4 was actually mine, but the 3 was the first one I owned.
And 5 was just so fucking good.
Because 4 I borrowed from a friend.
I would argue the best writing is absolutely in 5, because 5 is incredibly well done.
I will say the social, like the confidants.
The confidants in 5 were fucking
great.
phenomenal. They're really good. But Persona 4, I just finished Persona 3. I was late to the franchise, and I knew Persona 4 was an old game.
It's just sad because, Kanji is in 4.
Kanji's great.
Kanji and Naoto. Well, no, it's just like, it's sitting there like, it's a shame that 4 is kind of like this horrible kind of setup game where, like, it has good characters, but the game isn't, if you think about it, like, it's not really that great, and I say that great, I mean, like, it doesn't get hype.
I'm already feeling the hate comments that are going to be flooded with all the people saying, you guys are fucking garbage, Persona 4 is the best, I don't know why you like 3 and 5.
Well, here's the thing, like, with 4, it's a good game, sure, but the level of hype that it got...
It doesn't deserve the god tier status, I'm not going to say that. But the thing is that, tying back to the spoiler thing, there was a video I was watching, it was a YouTube video ages ago, and I know that the game came out in 2009, I didn't get into Persona until like 2011 when I met May, and I don't think I even wanted to, I don't think I even started paying attention to Persona 4 until like 2012-ish.
I didn't know about Persona until I got into
which
college.
was quite a few years after the game had come out. Understandable. But because I'm getting into it, I didn't know anything about it, and May had been the one that had said, you need to go in blind on this game. That's half of why this game is so good.
I think what got me into it was my friend was reading the manga for 4.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, oh yeah, there's a game, by the way. I have it. You want to borrow it? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's a video game.
Yeah, May let me borrow Persona because she was talking about the fighting game that's coming out, and I was like, I've never heard of Persona, and she educated me and let me play. She lended me.
Did she sit you down?
She lended me her copy of Persona 3 Fez and was just like, you need to play this, and I played that on my PS. Okay, God bless you.
That's your dad.
Yeah, that was my dad.
My name is Lucky, you guys know that.
God bless you. Yeah. No.
Did you see that, Shinji?
Did you see that, Shinji? Yeah. No. There's a YouTube video I was watching that was talking about like the best boss fights in video games, and the thing is that he said not all of these are spoilers, but I'll let you know which ones are spoilers. And I don't ask me what the YouTuber was. His number 1 was the final boss in Persona 4. No spoiler warning, no nothing. he literally opens up with, and sorry for spoilers for an 11-year-old, or 10 or 11-year-old game, Adachi being the killer was one of the biggest plot twists in Persona 4, and I nearly threw my computer. And I'm like...
Apologies to anybody on Twitch that just got that spoiler for the first time.
I'm pissed, and I'm like, I'm just now getting into the series, and I get that spoiled when it's been told to me, like, you don't want that spoiler, right? And May had confirmed, she's like, yeah, fuck, you got that spoiled. And I think what put an even worse taste in my mouth was, back when I actually was active on Tumblr, when I had a Tumblr, I had posted about how it got spoiled, and an anonymous message was like, you're a fucking idiot, that game is old, you deserve to get spoilers. And I was like... You gotta be fun at parties.
Not everyone is able to get the game when it first comes out because
or you'd never hear of it until later on. Yeah.
Even in my case, I missed out on Final Fantasy VII entirely because I didn't have access to that game at all.
I watched friends play it, but I never played it myself. I didn't play it myself until way later in life.
My very first Final Fantasy was 10.
Yeah.
I missed that whole entire generation of Final Fantasy, and even Zelda. I missed out on all that shit. Because I didn't have those games when I was younger. So then, these people that are coming in, it's like, yeah, this game is really old. You had your chance. And I was like, no, not really.
Yeah.
My mom, even if my mom had allowed me to get those games, chances are our stores probably didn't have them.
Yeah.
I was lucky if I found Kingdom Hearts 2 when I did.
Right.
Just
Kingdom Hearts was another one that I looked up the spoilers for as you were playing it, just because... Well, half of it's because I was trying to make sense of the nonsense of the story. We talked about that on a prior podcast. I'm definitely in agreement that Kingdom Hearts 3 was not my favorite game of 2019, but it's easily one of your favorites because I
waited so long.
You were invested, and then
I feel like it paid off.
I feel like I don't know.
This was the game I waited 15
The game
years.
was fun to play, but it was frustrating to watch the story unfold at points because I was yelling at the TV half the time. This makes no fucking sense.
This was the game I waited 13 years for, and I'm happy.
And it didn't disappoint for you, which is great. But it's I was okay with getting the spoilers because I was just I don't know what any of this shit means.
At the same time, Kingdom Hearts is one of those franchises where I don't have to think about it too much to have fun with it. If I get basic information about what's going on in the timeline, it's enough for me. I don't have to do a deep dive.
You talk about games where the ending or just parts of the story they unravel. You think about it too much. That's mine and May's debate about Heavy Rain. She's able to unplug enough to where she still loves the game. After I beat the game, because she sent me an article, she's like, I want you to read this article after you play the game that I can understand, but I still love the game. And it was an article, one of the gaming sites I posted, why Heavy Rain's ending makes no goddamn sense. If that wasn't the name of the article, but it's why the ending makes no sense. And with Heavy Rain, at its face value, you're like, oh, that was a great twist, that was awesome. I won't spoil that one. Oh, that was a great twist, that was fine.
I was gonna say, I know what it is, but...
But the thing is that as you start to think about the logic of how that could happen, you're like, wait, this makes no fucking sense. And it's kind of taken away some of the enjoyment that I had in the game originally. Not that it's a bad game, it's just I think about it too much. And me overthinking it...
You dive too deep.
I'm a story guy through and through. And I love diving into stories. I guess that's one of the reasons why for certain things I take spoilers so seriously. Because I'm a story guy. I want to see how it unfolds. I regret looking up the spoilers for Persona 5 because it made sense. I looked it up because I didn't think I was ever going to play it. And then May played it, marathoned it, and she fell in love with it. She's like, Greg, you need to play this game. It's fantastic. And then I wasted 8 months. Not wasted. I wasted time, but it was a good 8 months playing Persona 5, and it was nice. It was very nice. Very
See, the game... But, there is a game that I'm glad I didn't get any spoilers
I was just about to ask this. What is something that you did not get spoilers for that you were so thankful you did not get spoilers for?
15.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
On my own that the ending for 15 was going to happen the way it did.
Yeah.
I was crying.
Well, let's talk about debates again. I think 15, people like Kanan and Chrissy, for example, they fucking hate 15 because they hated the story.
Well, and they were with the classic Final Fantasies, and anyone that I talk to anymore half the time, if they grow up with classic 15 or classic Final Fantasy games, they're like 15 was bullshit. Anything past a certain point
and
is bullshit.
I've had the massive.
From what I heard, the reason why they didn't like it is because they had so much stuff they originally added to that game, they took it out.
Yeah, but I
Change the
mean,
story completely. That's why I don't like it.
but things happen in like the span of time of when you first pitch a game to when it comes out.
That's my debate.
Look
with
at
them.
No Man's Sky.
That's my debate with them. Is just like, how can you not like a game because you're looking at cut content? Like, it's one thing to look at it
and
and
they
be
added
like,
the content back in later.
they
anyway.
eventually, to which I would say that basically added to the detriment of 15 is that they added all that stuff back. To which even I, who loved 15, was like, well, wait, why didn't you just have all this?
They could have also been pushed for time.
Who knows?
Because now, like...
But they had 10 years. They had 10 years they were working on it, but
yeah,
still...
but I mean, there's game deadlines they had back-to-back that they were kind of rushing to get out.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
Regardless, I'm glad that ending never got spoiled for me.
Glad the ending of Final Fantasy 15 was not spoiled.
As emotional as that was, it still would have destroyed me a bit just knowing that going in.
Yeah.
Because, I mean... And this shows how well it works. Anytime I go back and replay it, I'm still, like, my heart still breaks. Yeah. I'm still crying.
For me, the one thing that I'm glad I didn't have spoiled, probably Red Dead 2.
I was gonna say.
Probably Red Dead 2. Although, by technicality, there was a spoiler that I had read, but it was after a certain point in the game, and in my brain, I went, this is going to do this to that character, and because I wanted to also make sure that was supposed to happen. They said... this happens, which is going to lead to this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the event had already happened, so you kind of already knew. But
you wanted to make sure you didn't fuck up.
I wanted to make sure that I didn't do something wrong. You know,
that was me with Persona 5.
Oh yeah, you didn't get any of the spoilers for Persona 5.
No.
Oh, when you looked it up.
When I had to look it up because that was part of what I accidentally spoiled for you. Now that I think about it.
Oh.
Because I didn't know if that was supposed to happen or not, and like you were the only one awake that I could message, and I'm just like. What the fuck did I do? Did I fuck up? And you're like, I'm not even to that yet. And I'm like,
you just spoiled something for me because I don't know.
What was it?
The interrogation scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
I didn't know that was how it went, and I thought I'd gotten a bad ending.
That thing is supposed to happen, yeah. I know
because,
what you're talking about,
I mean, the only other game that I finished out of Persona was 3.
Right.
I didn't get to finish 4 because I had to give it back to my friend.
Right.
So I was sitting there like, and I had heard somewhere that Persona 5 had a bad ending, and I was just like, is this it? Did I just get it? And then it's
supposed to be that fake. It's supposed to be the fake out, yeah.
And then a thing happens at the end of that scene that tips you off, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, I panicked for nothing.
I'll definitely say this though, that setting up that scene was fucking complicated. Yeah. But
you gotta pick the right stuff. It's stress.
Yeah, the setup.
Thankfully, you're not timed.
Thank God.
Because that would have just...
That would have sucked.
I would have gotten it wrong.
God, I'm trying to think of another... You know, a one that I'm glad that I didn't watch... Because my dad had the PS3. Mm-hmm. I am glad I did not watch my dad play The Last of Us before I played it. Because he got it... And... he had started playing it, and I stayed out of the room because I knew I was going to play it. And I think I had started playing it. Roman Wants Donuts. I think I had started playing it close around the same time he had started playing it. But my dad marathoned that game. Like he and mom, because my mom will watch my dad play video games, especially the story based ones.
That was me with you playing Red Dead.
Yeah, so you would sit down and watch and help me out when I was doing certain things and as I was playing it. But as whenever my dad was playing Last of Us, I left the room because I didn't want spoilers. And if my memory is foggy on this, but if I remember correctly, I think he may have marathoned it when I was gone or something like that.
You weren't at home, basically.
I wasn't at home, or I was away or doing something. But that happened. That came out.
That ending is so heartbreaking too.
I had none of that spoiled, and when I played that whole game, like, even the first 20 minutes, I was just like, oh, fuck. And then you get to... Are those Yoshis?
They are Yoshis.
Oh, good. Oh, that's cute. That's cute, actually. No, but playing through that whole game without any spoilers or not knowing what was going to happen, it was so good.
See,
it was so good that I didn't get any of that spoiled.
For me with that game, I never knew if I was going to play it or not because it was shown as a shooter game, and I don't really do shooters because I suck at those games.
Right,
So I watched Markiplier play it before I played it.
Yeah.
So I knew everything that happened, but it didn't take away any of the emotion that I had playing it for myself, finally.
Yeah. I didn't...
Because those punches still hurt.
I didn't even have Left Behind spoiled.
Don't it sound fucking amazing? Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I don't even think I had Left Behind spoiled either.
I watched Mark play it.
Yeah. So, that was one I'm glad. I'm trying to think of, like, TV or...
Is there, like, Assassin's Creed, maybe? That you didn't get spoiled? Or that you did and it made you angry? Either one.
See,
because I know y'all were playing Assassin's Creed.
Probably 4.
Which one was that?
That's the pirate one with Edward Kenway. I didn't have any spoilers for that one, and that was really good. I would say, God, I'm trying to think of I would say probably my movie example. My movie example was
you had the Matrix one.
Well, my movie example, spoiler alert, Greg is a loser. I could have told you that. No, I think...
That's not a spoiler, Robert. That's the tagline.
I think not having the new Star Wars movies not spoiled, like the new trilogy, not spoiled, I'm proud of that, because when... I
had one spoiler in Force Awakens.
Was it the big one in Force Awakens, if I remember correctly?
No, it was a tiny one. But still, I wanted... Yeah. It was literally the day before I went.
I hold Star Wars close to my heart, because that was, I think, the first thing my dad ever just sat me down like, son, I'm going to show you Star Wars. So, like, to my dad and I, like, Star Wars is our thing. That was
it got you into sci-fi.
It got me into sci-fi, yeah. And I'm so happy I didn't get any spoilers for any of those movies. I'm also happy with being caught up and ready and watching Infinity War and Endgame. He said Star Wars.
Star Wars is shit, though. I mean, so is Fallout, but we're not going to compare.
I mean, you speak about spoilers in Fallout, and the guy when they were doing the national anthem at a sports game who yelled the end of Fallout 4 for a whole crowd, and that game was on TV, and a bunch of people got spoiled. It was so funny.
Spoiler alert: Snape kills Dumbledore.
Ooh,
God damn it!
Got him. But but yeah, like, so that's. I don't know. Spoiler culture is a fun thing to talk about. And interesting.
Did you have a show spoiled for you?
I purposely spoiled myself with, like, Walking Dead, just because I would keep falling behind.
God, Walking Dead maybe.
God, see, not having any of the spoilers for Stranger Things 2. Not knowing.
Oh, that was one I got spoiled.
That was one you got pissed about. Darth Vader's Luke's father. God damn it, Robert.
Because it was a YouTube ad.
Yeah, that had spoiled.
I had no control.
This person's back, and you're just like, God damn it. Yeah, I didn't get any.
Because it was one of those ads you can't skip either. So I was just like, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
So then I messaged you. Is this true?
I'm like, yeah, it is. Yeah, not getting any of the spoilers for Stranger Things 2. I think it's
still haven't seen that season either.
I want to sit down with you and watch it. I want to rewatch season 1 and then get ready for season 2. God, I see. I've never been too much of a TV guy. That's the hard part.
No, you saying Stranger Things though made me go, oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, I have some vitriol right here. Yeah, I've never.
So angry.
I've never been a huge TV. I've watched TV. I'm trying to even pick my brain for anime stuff.
I'm just gonna look at the figures and see if.
Just look at the figures, yeah.
Maybe there's something.
There has to be.
Was there anything from Attack on Titan that maybe got spoiled for you?
I see. Originally, because I was not believing the hype at all, I had people tell me what happened because I initially was like, I don't give a fuck about Attack on Titan. You can tell me anything because I'm never gonna watch it because it's popular and I'm not gonna watch it because I was an edgelord like that in 2014. And then I watched it, and I'm like, God damn it.
That's a weird way to say hipster.
I was like, then I watched it, and I was like, God damn it, I wish I didn't tell people to spoil this shit for me. But that was my own fault, because I was like, I'm never going to watch it.
I'm trying to see all the anime.
Oh, here's one. Okay. I didn't really get many spoilers I didn't really get the spoilers from My Hero Academia. The only one I got was related to All Might in Season 3 per se.
See, for My Hero Academia... Anime-wise, I didn't get any spoilers, but anything that happened in the manga, I'm like, I'll eventually read it, just tell me.
Spoiler alert, Attack on Titan makes zero fucking sense. Anymore with how Isayama's developed that story, I agree.
But yeah, My Hero Academia for me is a special circumstance where you can tell me spoilers from the manga, I'm not going to care.
Yeah.
But if you spoil the anime episode for me, I will gut you.
I will gut you, yeah.
Um,
having the plot twist at the end of Halo, because I love the Halo games. Having the plot twist at the end of Halo 4 was something I'm glad I didn't get spoiled.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because it was a really interesting turn that they took. But then on TV, the other end of the spectrum is because I was so burnt out by the Voltron fandom. I technically haven't even watched seasons 7 and 8.
You kept messaging me, how's Shira?
Yeah, which is sad because season 6 was arguably the best season that they had done. And I was really excited for 7 and 8. And because of how much people fucking hated 7 and 8, I'm just like... And how people were making others feel like garbage because they liked it. I was like, I'm not going to deal with this. And I pulled the plug.
I can think of a game that had you angry whenever you got it spoiled. Danganronpa. You were pissed.
I
like one dude on Facebook just spoiled who survives.
I was getting to the end of the game and I literally went, I'm not going to finish the game now. Like, I'm not even going to fucking bother.
I'm looking
at
my
point.
anime and I saw that I had season 1 of Danganronpa.
I'm not even going to fucking bother at this point. Yeah, I remember that. I was fucking angry.
There was the bit in Dead Man Wonderland that you told me about, and like, I wasn't angry at you, I was angry at the manga.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. So...
I'm trying to think if there's like anything...
I have an interesting story about the whole Snape kills Dumbledore spoiler. My dad told my sister and I that spoiler in the car because... because he had made a reference to Dumbledore, and then we're like, what are you talking about? And he goes, oh, Mommy just finished The Half-Blood Prince, and there was a big thing. And we're like, oh, what happened? And they're like...
Do you want to know?
Do you want to know? And I was like, yeah, no, it's all good. Dang Dan Rompa, yes. Dang Dan
Dingle Rumpus, actually.
Dingle Rumpus. I was like, yeah, don't tell me. He's like, this is a big deal. Are you certain? I'm like, yeah, go ahead, tell me. And then he said Snape kills Dumbledore. And I was like, what? Holy shit.
There is one thing in anime that I'm glad I didn't have spoiled for me.
Which one's that?
The last episode of Yuri on Ice.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because I had errands to run that day. And I wasn't going to be able to watch the episode right when it dropped.
Right.
So, and on top of that, Crunchyroll's app crashed because too many people were trying to log on to watch it.
Yeah.
And so I was just sitting there like, I can't watch it yet. I have errands to run. Guys, please don't tell me the ending. I don't want to get it spoiled. I just want to see if he wins. I just want to see what happens. Do they go the route of letting him win? Does he lose? And I'm just sitting there like, I'm just like, I was even messaging people. I'm like, please do not tell me.
Yeah, May. What are you?
I was a bad friend on accident. I told my friend that Sirius died in Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, because they hadn't gotten to that part yet.
Part of the book, and I got ahead of them, and I'm like, I'm really upset. She killed Sirius. My friend's like, I'm not even there yet. I'm like, I'm sorry.
May, are you okay? Are they holding you hostage?
They are holding me hostage.
Yes.
But yeah, I was a bad friend on accident.
I remember you telling me that story. I was like, oh, that sucks.
I spoiled to my ex one of the big plot point in Trauma Center.
Blink twice if you need help. What was the plot?
Blink twice.
That Yuri Lowenthal voices.
Yes. You guys aren't gonna really Trauma Center, right?
No.
Okay. No. So it's in the Wii U game, the one with Derek Stiles, the glasses
definitely
guy.
not
He's voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, by the way.
The one that Game Grumps. Well, no, they played New Blood. That's right. They played New Blood.
They played New Blood.
I think they played both. I think they played Second Opinion and New Blood.
The ending of New Blood is still bullshit. Anyway,
regardless.
So me and my ex, we both had gotten copies of the game, and we were both playing it. I got a little ahead of her, and there's a part where the main character gets infected with like the major strain, the virus is called guilt, and he gets really sick. And so I was freaking out, like, no, like he got infected with guilt, he's sick, we have to save him. And she goes, I wasn't even there yet. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, Mira, have you spoiled anything for somebody on accident?
I can think of 2 examples for you.
Yeah,
in particular.
yeah. That's why I'm asking this question.
I already said one of them.
I did it to you, but that's because you said it was okay for me to tell you.
I already said one of them.
Which one was that one?
Danganronpa 2.
No, I still contest that.
I said, are you sure you want to know? And you're like, yeah, I'm never going to play. You can tell me, man. And I was like, okay.
By the way, they said that there's a SWAT team on the way. They're going to rescue you.
Oh, thank you.
Robot's like, people actually like those weird Surgeon Simulator video games.
I do. I would play.
They're wild.
I would play those all day.
Troy Baker and Kimberly Brooks are in New Blood. Yeah.
Marcus is still my favorite.
Oh, Nolan North. No, that's Numbers.
No.
Marcus
that's Troy Baker's character.
Marcus is Troy Baker. That's right. Numbers is Nolan North. Kimberly Brooks is Valerie.
And Karen Strassman's is the assistant girl.
That's right.
I don't know. Oh no, Nolan North is Numbers in Trauma Team.
Trauma Team.
And Travis is Spike Spiegel's lookalike.
That's right. Yeah. I remember that. He basically looks like that. Yeah. What's the other one we want to air out on public before we wrap up this podcast that you spoiled?
It was 15.
I'm sorry. Which part specifically in 15?
I'm trying to remember. Don't tell me.
I spoiled the whole train thing.
Yeah.
That wasn't it for me, dude. That wasn't it for me, thankfully. It was. I want to say it was the bit with Ravis.
Yeah.
Which episode was it?
That was episode. That was a chapter later on.
Oh, I thought it was maybe like episode Prompto or something.
No, with Ravis. Well, you find out why Ravis got to that point in episode Prompto.
I think that might have been what I did, though.
I don't remember. I just remember you had spoiled it.
Because I got to play episode Prompto before you did, I think.
Yeah.
Either way, something related to Ravis I spoiled on accident. I didn't mean to.
The one that I felt bad for is the one we talked about earlier. Is when I had to spoil
Mira's
part of when I had to spoil part of Infinity War for you because of how upset May was at the end. You know, I was like, yeah, this person dies, this happened, and you're like, wait, what? I was like, fuck, did I really?
Well, you confirmed about one of the characters because I had seen a fan art like a little bit before our conversation, and I was just like, this makes no sense. And then you confirmed it, and I was like, oh, never mind. I guess I did have a spoiler.
Like, well, shit. He's like,
but then other characters you ended up telling me, and I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah, literally.
So part of that initial shock was gone a little bit when I went in there because like certain characters I knew. Yeah. Other characters, though, I did not.
True, yeah.
But yeah, like, Yurianis in particular, I was just like, please, guys. I was messaging people, like, please, do not spoil the ending.
Right.
If you have to, hide me from your posts if you're going to spoil it, please. I have errands to run. I need to just not.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, because...
Greg is the worst person. I could have told you that.
I'm glad, because Romano can attest to this, like, because whenever I rewatched it with her... Like, she went in blind, too. Mm-hmm. But when I first initially watched it, I went in blind, and I was just crying the whole time.
Yeah.
This show means a lot to me, can you tell?
I would have never guessed.
Can you tell?
I could have never fucking guessed. No,
May is a loser. Wow, Greg is the worst person.
I think the other one was accidentally spoiling one of the Bioshocks on Facebook. Accidentally for a friend who he hadn't played it yet. And I was like, fuck. Because I had shared a photo, which basically spoiled. And I was like, fuck, okay. And I felt so bad. I was like, god damn it. But
I feel like there was something else that I had spoiled for somebody, and I cannot remember.
I know you spoiled quite a few things for me.
It was on accident.
I'm just saying.
I can only think of it two.
Be the cause of the... Well,
Bioshock is garbage, though.
Again, so is Fallout, but we're not judging you for that.
How many awards has Bioshock won?
West Virginia!
How many awards has Fallout won?
I wish people could hear that.
How many awards?
Speaking of West Virginia, let's end this shit now. Oh, actually, that was really... I don't know what that had to do with anything. Anyway, we're way past time, but I figured with the spoiler conversation, it was fine.
At least it was just us.
At least it was just us. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you guys in a couple weeks for another edition. And we're really excited. Hope you guys enjoy. If people want to find you on Twitter and Instagram, where can they find you?
Mirito Cosplay.
You can find me at Greg Snazzy Gamer on both Instagram and Twitter. I'm a lot more active on Twitter now, especially with
West Virginia.
And West Virginia, yeah. So I'm a lot more...
As long as the Blues are playing... During the third period.
Yeah, during the third period.
It will never end.
During the third, but that's a topic we didn't get to talk about.
That's fine.
That story. I wanna talk about that another time because that's a great story. Is why they sing "Take Me Home, Country Road." But anyway, so you guys take care. We love you guys. Hope you guys take care. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in 2 weeks.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye. May wave bye. Give some words of wisdom as we end.
Country road, take me home, West Virginia.
Blah, blah, blah.